Blake's Buzz Live. More, hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
Hey, everybody, happy Wednesday, happy new comic book day. I don't want to be a downer, but I know everybody's thinking it, like, what the hell else can happen? It's been some heavy days, right? But look, here's my goal. Here's my goal. Tonight, for an hour or so, or longer, if people tell too many stories, I know, it's my fault, but for about an hour or so, we're gonna embrace community. We're gonna embrace being a nerd. We're gonna embrace things we love, and we're gonna talk about fun stuff. And for an hour, we're just gonna be nerds, and we're gonna pretend like bad stuff ain't happening all around us, and that the planet's not mad at us and stuff. Just for an hour. Just for an hour. We'll go back to serious stuff later. I promise. But let's all take a break. I hope you went out. I hope you went to your local comic shop today, picked up your pull list. Hope you grabbed some awesome stuff. All right, hopefully you got some bags and some boards. We can sit around, get comfy. I kind of miss that. When not being a Wednesday warrior anymore, like the vibes of like sitting and like putting some shows on and the bagging and boarding and that it like calmed me. It was like a nice nice interaction. Anyway, before we bring out the guests, I got some stuff we got to talk about first, but we already got people in the chat. Let's say hey to some people. Kenneth always popping in early, saying hey to us in the EXP. By the way, we are multi-streaming on multiple platforms. We're coming from you live from the EXP's YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. You're getting me on my Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. We're streaming everywhere, baby. All right, and it's going to be great. We're putting the good vibes out there. That's what we're doing. Good vibes and hot dogs and comic talk. That's what we do here. We got Mr. Mad Prophet Tommy himself. Tuesday nights, by the way, 10 Eastern. Watch a very, very cool show called Aggressive Positivity. Learn about some amazing comics coming out every Wednesday. He's bragging about it. He read 57 new comics this week. I didn't read shit. I'm a fraud. What's up, Riser? Good to see you. All right. Real quick, we got to do a couple quick ad reads real quick. All right. These are some campaigns I'm working on. Crossover Division number 8 by Will Allred is live on Kickstarter, fully funded, ready to go. There's an awesome Tula Lote variant. You can see that right there. You can pick up that. And get this, if you're new to the series, I know that actually says issue 7. It should say issue 8. That's funny. I just noticed that. I'll let the team know about that. I didn't do that. That's not my fault. But anyway, if you're new to the series, you get to the Kickstarter page. There's a link in the description. You can read the first issue for free and see if you like it. If you do, come back, support the campaign. Be a hero, right? Heroes support indie comics. I'm also working on Ruination 12 and Tales of Ruination 2. We're working on that campaign right now. It's going to be coming to Kickstarter very, very soon. Great catch-up tiers and stuff to do. Hardcovers still in stock, but guess what? Just like Crossover Division, go to the pre-launch page, download the first issue for free. Look at that. 2 free issues of comics. All you had to do was log on, say hey. But no, seriously, check them out, see if you're into it. And if you are, you can maybe swing back, support the campaign. And finally, Matt Frank's State of the Monsters is a kaiju-sized epic campaign, crushing it on Kickstarter right now. We're about to hit that $25,000 stretch goal. We just dropped some original art. It's amazing. Check it out. Wow, my job is cool and never stressful. All right. Let's bring some people out. You guys want to talk comics with people that aren't me? Yeah, probably. Probably you do. That's why you tune in. You don't tune in to watch me. You tune in to watch my guests. And that's smart because I have awesome people on this show. All right, first up. All right, I've known this person for a few years now. Been a great voice online, wonderfully positive, just never has. I don't know if they know how to frown. I don't know if they know how to frown. I just always smiling, always good vibes. All right, y'all ready for this? You may know her from back in the day as the friendly neighborhood bye. It's Lauren. Let's get her out here. Let's just hit some buttons. Whoa!
Yeah!
What's up? Yes! Yes! Chill out back there. Hey, how's it going, Lauren?
Dude, it's great now. You're doing all the work for me. I can just sit back and just take all the energy.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I do. That's also my job for Kickstarter professionals. They
Right?
sit back and I do all the
Yeah.
work. It works out really well for some people. I'm super excited. You are you're back on the mic. You just recently did a Supergirl watch party over the
Yes.
weekend.
Yep.
But you're here. We're here to talk about the Nerdy Neighborhood Podcast. We got a new name, audio only. You mentioned in the which is I kind of missed that because I feel like I was bullied into this shit. I was bullied into video. I have a radio face. It's fine though. We work with what we got. But yeah, it's good. It's good to have you back. You took some time to yourself for a while, which by anybody out there, that's totally okay to do. But you know, how's it feel? How's it feel to be back out, back into the community, screaming about stuff you love and you're passionate about? You miss it?
Yeah, I mean, that was the first thing when I started doing it. I had a lot of life changes I can talk about more later, but anytime you get big life changes, I think after you adjust from the shock, or if you can, depending on what the change is, obviously, sometimes you're like, holy shit, there's room in my life now. There's room for something else, or you're like, hey, this is the only thing I want to focus on. You know what I mean? And so for me, in this case, it was, I have room for me and the things I've loved that I kind of stepped away from that were for a ton of different reasons, some in my control, others out of my control. And yeah, it's just great to be back. Like I remember I also went on a couple friends' podcasts in the last month or two. And like you said, I was just like, I'm talking with my guys again. Cause most of the people still are guys on these shows, especially of comics. There's not a lot of women voices. And that's also why I wanted to come back as well, because it's like, there's just not, there's not a lot of other women, even if they're completely different from me. That'd
Dude,
be great. But
it's hard to get
it's
women on
crazy.
this show. I had to beg Lauren. I had to send a gift basket. There were a bunch of fresh baked hot dogs. I hope it gets there in time, or the hot dogs will be bad. No,
Listen, they got 8. They got 8. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, I can eat. No, but seriously, like it's so good to just talk with friends again. And it's not that I don't have my friends in my own life, but the comic world's been special to me. It's always been special, but particularly since I really got involved in the online community of it in like 2019, 2020, funny enough. Like when you find the most welcoming people in the community, there's nothing like it. Like they're just the best people. And it's so rewarding, and it's so worth the trouble of dealing with all the filtering out the bullshit and the people that just really try to make it hard.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's been awesome. And frankly, it's ironic because I had some other changes come up in the last month. So I've done 4 episodes, but I think the last time I put on an episode was July. So it's been like over a month now. So I need to get something back out there. So this will give me something to put out there, I'm sure.
Hey, sometimes it takes a minute to get back into the swing of things. I remember taking a break and coming back, and it was really weird. And I also did it like right when I got fired, which was like that was
Listen,
an
well, and it's one of those things, like, and this has happened to me a couple times in the past. The other major break I took since I did the podcasting, I did a big comeback. It was when I still did YouTube, and I did live shows like you and interviews, pre-recorded and all that. And so I did a big comeback back then. And so when I stepped away this time, I really was kind of hoping, and I was putting pressure on myself, like, I got to do this big comeback. I have to make a statement, and I also have to hold to it, because everybody, they want the content every week and the consistency. And I get that because I love structure and consistency in my life. But I was just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to put something out there, even if it's audio only. And that's why I did the audio only, because that's what is easiest for me to do, but still be a part of the community and, still have people on the show too. And it's also different because it's the first podcast I've done where, like, there are episodes that I do by myself. There's multiple episodes I've had. I think I've done half and half so far. 2 episodes are only me, and 2 episodes I've had a guest on. And it's very different. I don't know about you, Blake, but it's very different doing an episode all by yourself, and you just feel like you're doing this
Yes.
never-ending Shakespearean dialogue,
Yeah. Well, we got one more guest to bring out, but I'll tell my first going live story solo. It was I don't know if it's still on the internet anywhere, because I was using Zoom, and it was like there was a delay because that was how you used to have to do it back in the day. Anyway, it was it was a mess, and I was hammered.
Oh my God. Okay. I know you're trying to pivot, but I just wanted to say I was looking at the comments and it's cool to see some faces. Travis Gibbs in there.
Yeah, what's
I
up,
actually got to
Travis
meet him in
Gibb?
person at
Oh, really?
HeroesCon this year. So that was fucking awesome.
Cool. Oh,
HeroesCon's the
yeah.
best Comic Con. Like if people haven't gone to that, you need to go to HeroesCon in Charlotte.
I've heard it's special. Also, the upcoming like Baltimore's coming up fairly soon, and I hear
yeah,
that's a real
for
good
sure.
one too.
Yeah. And then
Did
David
you go to
Hazan's
that a
in
couple
there.
years ago? And, like meet up with some people?
Baltimore? No, I've never been to Baltimore.
Okay.
I've only been the only cons I've
You
been
went to Heroes,
to.
I guess.
Well, and
I don't
I've
know.
been to cons consistently the last few years. So I think people think I go to a million cons, but there's only like two I go to. I go to HeroesCon in Charlotte because it's 2.5 hours for me, and I go to GalaxyCon here in Raleigh because it's right where I live in Raleigh.
Oh,
but
that's two dope shows to be able to.
well, and
easily
next
pick up.
week I get to go to Dragon Con for the first time ever. I'm fucking stoked.
I
It's
hear
gonna be
that is
crazy.
a blast. I
Dude,
hear
I'm
that
so
is a
excited.
blast.
I
got
hear
hit up.
it is all fan driven. Like it's mostly volunteer ran. It's not corporate con.
Yeah.
It just sounds super special, which is exactly what I want to need. Like I would much rather if Dragon Con is all that sounds like it is, I think that's gonna become my favorite con, and I would easily pick it over even San Diego because a fan driven con, you can't beat that, you know?
Nope. I agree. It's one I've heard a lot of good stuff about. The tabletop RPG gang is like they're like really great people, and they have a big presence there. But yeah, you're too easy to talk to, Lauren.
I know, bring the other guy on. Otherwise, I'm ruining everything. Bring him on.
All right, we got one more guest to bring out. I've known this guy for several years. He's not just a content creator. He's a friend, and he's launching a new show focusing on great discussions around comics and their creators. Let's get him out here. It's the host of Longbox Conversations, Mr. Chris Rundt. Yeah!
Oh yeah, man. Let's go.
I'm not used to all the pomp and circumstance.
Okay, guys. Goddamn. I'm sorry about that. We are, folks, we are recorded in front of a live pre-recorded studio audience, and they just get out of control sometimes.
They get rowdier and rowdier.
They get crazy every week. Every week they sound the same, but also a little different.
So if Lauren's the happy one that's always smiling, I guess I'm the grump of the group. So
yes,
here I am. Let's talk about Lanterns episode 2. You know that scene everybody's bitching about? Let's go on.
I need to watch.
I already did it.
Fuck, I haven't watched Lanterns yet. Damn it.
I watched. Okay, I won't lie because I really liked the first. I watch stuff late at night sometimes because I've been working late, and so like I'll lay down and put something on. And anyway, it was like 2:00 in the morning, but I crashed during episode 2. But I really liked episode 1, and episode 2 wasn't bad, but it was really late, and I also need to watch
Episode 2 is great. I'm just joking around, but yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked. I'm stoked you're back. I won't lie, man. It was you never know, and I found out fairly quickly that, you weren't like leaving, but you would, you do a lot of shorts. You've done a lot of interviews. You've done a lot of episodes at Fortress of Comic News, right? And it's just like you had a good thing. You had a good thing going. And it's always, I think, again, as someone who left for a while and came back, I think people do, if you need a break, you should always worry about yourself, right? You should take care of yourself, because if you're a mess, you're going to be a mess on the mic, and no one really. I mean, okay,
correct yourself. Some people want to see us all
That's
drunk
true.
and
That's
unfiltered, which is dangerous. We know this.
But it's sometimes you need that break. But no, I was legit worried. I was like, oh no, like what happened? And I was very glad to see that you're coming back, rebranding, new logo, new vibes, new show, man. So like, you knew this was happening. You had like planned on this. Like how? Because you said you and your old co-host, it was like a 500 episode deal, and or something like that.
So I knew about a year in advance, yeah, because we had a conversation, and basically, Mike talked about this in episode 500. So I'm not throwing him under the bus or anything here, but he was kind of just done with it. He just got married. They're starting a family. He has a big boy career, as I call it. And he's constantly traveling. So it was just kind of a thing he didn't feel passionate about anymore. And I conned him into doing 500. So we did another, however many episodes it was, 50 episodes, I think. and called it 500 and kept that secret from everyone except for I think Travis Gibb for most of that time because I had to con Travis into hosting the last episode.
Okay, because I was like, he knows too much already. He's like the indie comic book hub. He like I don't like he really is. Like I want how many if you're still watching, dude, how many people are in your Discord now? It's like 200, 300 and something crazy. Anyways, it's just hold on, man, I like it when people leave comments. But it's like so. Like I'm totally have ADHD. I know I do, and it's really hard to stay focused on stuff. And anyway, but we got Kenneth saying he's still here, shouting out everybody. We appreciate you, Kenneth. And then David is on saying having been on your show previously. Lauren, glad to see you.
Yes, David. I haven't talked to him forever, man. Thank you so much.
Good. He kept me up. What was it last week? He was on, and we stayed on the call till 2:00 in the morning. And I was like, dude, I gotta go to bed. I was like, quit. He's like, it's 11 a.m. here, or no, I guess it was like 1 then. But also, he also just totally skipped work because he was like, he literally sent a message in the. I don't know this is what we're here to talk about. He literally sent a message in the private StreamYard chat and was like, hey guys, probably gotta wrap it up soon. I gotta get back to work. And I was like, okay, so we start wrapping it up, and then we talked for like 4 hours after, and he was like, hey, I guess I'm just not going to work. And I was like, nice. That's how we do things. Here. Oh, what's up? BJ with Comics Are Dope, dude. Thanks for stopping in. I hear, dude, I got to start going to cons.
We live in the same area, and him and I, like, we have the same LCS, and we always miss each other because we're both so fucking swamped. Yeah, man, he's awesome. Like, we just always miss each other, and he's doing so many amazing things, and I'm still trying to fucking keep up with life.
He is. I don't know. He's got like kids and a family and stuff. And like,
I really don't know how he does it. Like, I got no idea because I don't have kids. I do have a family though, but like, man, like he puts in the work, man.
I know it's gnarly. Tommy saying, I hear they're planning a big party in Baltimore. David says it's just him doing voices. They're great voices though. He's great. He's got those warm Australian sultry tones. What's up, Lewis? All right. Everybody shut up now. Can we start talking about comics? I'm just kidding. Please keep moving. But all right, so let's Chris, I mentioned you're here. You got the new logo and the new branding package and stuff. Smart decisions, I think, right? As someone, I know a thing or two about branding. Okay. I just kind of know what to do because hot dog marketing works. And somehow we've tied all that into comic books and video games and live streaming. But where did the Longbox Conversations come from? And who did your logo? Cause you got a really good logo.
Dave Schwartz. So artist for Dino Night, bunch of other cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like trying to figure out a name because I'm terrible with names. And I was like, man, Longbox Conversations would be great, but that in some ways had to have done it. And I spent an afternoon Googling left and right, and I could not find anyone using it.
Wow.
It's like, okay, here, let's do it. So I stole it and I bought all the domains for it right then and there and made the YouTube channel then and there, probably 2 months before we started. And here we are. And then David, like I just told him like, hey, would you do me a logo with me behind a mic, involve a Longbox? And he came back with that first try.
Nice.
And I was like, yeah,
I have no notes. I'm in talks with an artist right now, and they offered to do it, which was cool, but they're also busy, so I can't be like, hey, that free art you were talking about doing. But a cool artist is down to like draw, because I already have my Ignacio drew my bee, and like I kind of want another bee with like eating that looks like me and is eating a hot dog because I feel like that's the next evolutionary step. And so like
you should just do a crappy a Photoshop of just a hot dog in there. Just add that.
Just put it in there. I was gonna try. Have you guys heard of this like AI stuff? Right? You just like have AI as a joke. All right, this is a joke. All right, this is a bad joke. That's why I'm a podcast host, not a comedian.
I hear they're great musicians.
Yeah, right. They make really cool, catchy stuff. No, it was. I saw a conversation about how the new deal is people are making AI logos, and then they're trying to hire designers to like vectorize them,
Oh,
and
dear
like
God.
you have to like trace that. Like, so when the like big complicated super detailed logos that ChatGPT is pooping out, like that's like a huge job, and like vectors only have like a few colors. Anyway, it's crazy. It's crazy. The design world that I barely know anything about yet is somehow a large part of my income. I don't know how that happened either. Hot dogs and design have both become my passion, and that was never the case like a year ago. I mean, I never not liked hot dogs. What are you guys, just before we get too into it, y'all like hot dogs? Are you hot dog people? Are you vegan, or are you of the type that believe the lies that the fake news media puts out about how they want to tell me that every bite of this takes off about 15 minutes of my life? Like, this is a cigarette? You're telling me this is a cigarette? Like, all right, come on. I'm done. But like, do you guys like hot dogs? Am I the only one?
I'm in the
Anybody
South,
like hot
so
dogs?
it's kind of hard not to. Like,
See?
you kind of just get brainwashed into it down here. So, unless you're the type that because it's just what you do that you like hate them, you know. But yeah, like no, a hot dog's good. But I'm weird because a lot of people that are pretentious about hot dogs are like, all beef is the only way to go. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm in North Carolina. I need that pork and chicken hot dog. Sorry. I don't want the all beef. That's what burgers and steak are for. Like, stop it.
That was funny. I'm eating all beef dog right now. But
See, I told you. See, the hot dog lover likes the beef.
I did get Johnsonville has some fancy Johnsonville hot dogs that are a pork sausage blend, and they're real snappy. And I did like those a lot. And I also wrapped them in bacon.
They sound kind of like like more like bratwurst or sausages or something.
Mm-hmm. It was like a hot dog bratwurst, a brat dog.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of bratwurst.
I'm not either, and I used to love them. Like your like taste buds really do change. I was told by Danny Lore that was on the show the other day, and Danny they said eventually I'm gonna like take a bite of hot dog, and it's not gonna work for me anymore. It's like if I like eat too many, like one day I'm just gonna take a bite and be like, I can't.
That's when we know the end times are coming,
right? Like it's every time, and I'm like really worried it's gonna happen on air. Like, what happens if like I take a bite of hot dog on air and I'm like all excited, and it like turns my stomach? I'm just really worried about sabotaging my own brand. That's all I think about lately. That's why I started doing hot dog and video game content on my comic book channel to just mess everything up. On that, because I did take a break for a while and came back, and there were a couple times where I thought about doing an alternate my Substack is still called Stone Dog Times, and I still really like that logo I made with my dog, and I would I need to change it back to Blake's Buzz because it doesn't make sense. But for a while I thought about doing something different, and it just like Blake's Buzz kept coming back, and it was like hard to walk away from. And both of you have decided to kind of adjust. Lauren, you've adjusted your podcast title, but Chris, like whole new title, whole new logo. Was it hard to let like that old piece of you go, like that old that old nerd nugget that's gonna just like sit next to your heart till you die, hopefully, maybe?
I think for me, Fortress Comic News was built with Mike, and honestly, it was Mike and I would go to the comic shop every Wednesday and talk about comics and Batman 66 and whatever. And he moved away, and we just like decided to do this show to talk. We didn't expect it to be anything. And 10 years later, 500 episodes plus later, it became this thing. And when he said he was done with it, it was pretty easy for me. Like, there's no Fortress without Mike. Yeah. That was really the decision. And it kind
would have been cool though if you kept the name and found another host. His name was Mike, just like as psychological warfare.
That would have been fucked up, man. That would have been fucked up. Come on.
I mean, yeah, but it'd be pretty epic.
So
and every day you're like, and this Tuesday nothing changed. It's me and Mike talking comics.
And then I gotta go to that guy's wedding and become best friends with him and just throw it in Mike's face. Yeah.
By the way, anybody wanting to know how to make friends in your 40s, I just told you. It's like psychological warfare followed by befriending someone else who has the same name as your best friend. It's super easy. It's not hard at all. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you like 5 times.
No, so for me, it was when I made the change, I just took everything I did wrong over those 10 years and was like, okay, let's not do that.
Yeah.
As simple as I shouldn't number the episodes. Why am I numbering episodes? Nobody cares.
That's fair. Yeah.
They only do it so that they can you can be like, hey, 300, 350, 500. I did the same. I started renumbering mine and then didn't, and then went back to no. It's a very.
So
if
do
you
you
go
guys-
back,
I have to ask, because do you guys think these are the conversations that editorial and publishers and creators have regarding comic issue numbers, and we all bitch about it, but we're having the same conversation about episode numbers? Should I renumber? I don't know. Should I? Meanwhile, we're bitching at comic creators and publishers. They're doing the same exact thing, but with comics.
Yes, with numbers and with with spine design and other stuff that you don't think of. That when you're in the back room and you're designing the new trade paperback, and then someone's like, why doesn't this look like volume 1? And then you're all like, oh, we didn't know you wanted it to look like volume 1. And then
Spine's gotta be right, man.
right, yeah. Which is funny because that is something, oh, the spine's got to be right. And I've been on a couple projects where we've been up late nights because the designers and me didn't think about that going into it.
It's when you think about it, the spine that's the number one thing people look at on your trade, because when you go to the comic shop, most comic shops have them on a bookshelf for you to look at. When you go to a bookstore, they're on a bookshelf. And then you look behind me, they're on a bookshelf with the spines out. The cover's cool, but everybody who walks in this room sees the spine.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to grab their attention to pull it out to then look at the cover. So I think the spine is one of the most underrated parts of the book, and it's super nerdy, and I think nobody but me cares, but I think it's important.
They do care though, because when DC changed their spine designs, a lot of people got mad. Marvel changed their omnibus designs mid-run. So if you have Claremont's Uncanny X-Men volumes 1 through 3 or 4 all look the same, and then 5 and 6 look weird now. The reprints have the new spine, but anyway.
I was talking to David Hedgecock about, he's in charge of the Conan the Barbarian omnibuses. His team is. And when they took it from Marvel for Titan, one of the things they thought about was they made the Titan logo red and actually made it match the Marvel ones. So people didn't feel like they had to rebuy the ones Marvel already published. It would go in line with the Marvel ones that they put out. So things like that are smart. I mean, you could try to double dip and get people to buy twice, but those are $100 books, $150 in some cases.
I'm so glad I'm not into buying every omnibus that comes out anymore. We got you guys everybody's chatting. Sergio coming in. What's up, Sergio? Good to see you. J. Michael Miller in the house. Always invited for pretzel nacho dogs. I gotta figure out how to make that. It sounds fun. Yeah, Todd, it was a joke. I really don't like AI. Yes. All right, cool. Hot dog. All right. Hold on, BJ said something. All right, BJ's got a hot dog hot take. All beef hot dog, or I don't want to keep your Carolina.
That's not a hot take. That's exactly why I said. People that like hot dogs, they're all over the all beef. Everybody else is trash. It's all good. I know
will
where my
still
place
get
is.
a Oscar Mayer cheese dog every now and then, though, and I have no idea
Those are
what's in
good.
that.
I can't
And it's
eat
not
them
even real
anymore,
cheese
but
either.
they're good.
It's
Blake, the pretzel nacho dog. It's a pretzel bun with an all beef hot dog in the middle, and then nacho cheese instead of ketchup or relish.
Oh, I do that a lot anyway.
There you go.
Because I always have
Homemade.
we're Sam's Club people here, and so we always have. It's so much cheaper to buy Sam's Club queso than to buy the ingredients to make your own queso. Because you can get a huge jar of it for $7. Anyways, we always have queso here, and yeah, I pour it on hot dogs. I poured it on that chili cheese Frito burger I made the other day. I've had 2 cheeseburgers this week that I'm pretty sure took a year off my life, and they were both worth it. They were this big. I had to squash them down. They looked real pretty to take a picture, but I had to to eat it. I had to be like.
See, 2 things I've learned being in relationships, and specifically with my most recent lady, it's queso and pickles in the house at all times, because if they're not around, she's gonna be mad. So I'm with you.
I'm not a pickle person, but having queso at the ready, it's a quick lunch. You put it on a breakfast burrito. You can have queso at any time of the day. Lauren, are you a queso person? You like cheese? I love cheese.
Oh, I love cheese, but I can't eat it. I have a dairy allergy,
Oh,
so I've been
okay.
fucked the last 4 years or so.
Damn.
So yeah, it's been a grieving process, and sometimes it still is. Like sometimes if I'm really tired, I'll go to the fridge late night. I'm going for that shredded cheese bag again. I'm like, nope. If I do that, I'm gonna be at the hospital. No, thank you. So.
Oh. That's another because I'm not a healthy person, and I do tend to kind of walk around like I'm gonna live forever when I'm obviously not gonna. But like, there's all these like there's food allergies and stuff that can happen to you, and stuff that can like make you not eat meat anymore, and like or I don't know. I just like there's a lot of weird stuff that can happen. Let's talk about weird stuff that can happen to our bodies, folks. Have you all had weird stuff happen to your body?
I'm sorry, you're talking to a woman. I beat all of you men. Sorry. Like you're gonna lose that combo. You're gonna want to leave. So let's just not do that here.
But yeah, it's weird how I don't know, like more and more and I know I'm not saying food allergies are not real because I know people that suffer from them, but I mean a lot. I was talking to some buddies about that, like, you know, when we were kids, when I was in, because you know when you're in grade school and like you used to bring like cupcakes and sodas and stuff on your birthday and give treats out to the class, or that's what we did anyway. And like, and I had cool parents that would like spoil me and spend money, and so they would get like whole size candy bars and soda pops, and the teachers were like, "Why are you giving the kids soda pop in the middle of the day?" And anyways, it was always a thing, but it was cool. But there was never a deal of like, oh, if you bring in cupcakes, they can't have nuts on them, or someone might die. You know, and now we do have like people with intense nut allergies, and so it's like, and I've heard it has something to like it could be with stuff that has to do with like our food and like the stuff that we eat, and then it changes and stuff. But yeah, it's I'm terrified. I don't know what I would do if all I eat is cheese and hot dogs. And it's like if I couldn't eat cheese and hot dogs, I'd have to figure
No,
stuff out.
I mean it's pretty devastating. Like I mean, I kept eating, like I probably should have stopped eating dairy at least a year, if not 2 years before I did. And my
Wow.
doctors weren't helping. Like they weren't even suggesting maybe you should change your diet. And you know, because everybody wants to avoid not being able to eat how they want, because like you're saying, it sucks. And I'm very emotionally dependent on food. I love food. And so for like an extra 2 years, I forced myself to suffer longer and go through all this medical shit because I just refused emotionally to stop eating cheese. I couldn't fucking bear the concept. And finally, it got bad enough medically and everything where I finally said, okay, nobody else can explain anything. I'm just gonna cut it down and see what happens. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm gonna be like, thank God. Okay, but it was that simple. And
Wow.
I mean, it's not even explainable why it started hurting me. Because again, I ate cheese most of my life so far, but it just got to a point for some reason. And when I cut it out, I said, son of a bitch, I'm not dying. Dang it. And but yeah, it's hard. Like the emotional connection with food, people don't talk about a lot. And when they do, they shame you. They're like, oh, you're fat and lazy and blah, blah, blah. But that's the thing. Like food works with our neurotransmitters. And if our neurotransmitters are out of whack, it doesn't matter how big or small you are or whether you think you're lazy or not. That really has nothing to do with it. So anyway, sorry, I've become more passionate about that lately. And I think people need to understand that, like, just because somebody is big doesn't mean like they're just trying to be lazy or eat themselves to death. It's just, we like food and it makes us feel good. What's wrong with that? You know? And
Exactly.
it's really hard. So
yeah. And some of us don't ever leave our desk because we work all the goddamn time.
You gotta get one of those standing desks, Blake.
I really want one. I've thought about it but like the cool ones that you like they're like $300-$350.
You can get you don't even have to get a full desk. There are, I can't remember what they're called. I'll have to look, Blake. If I do see them, I'll send you a link. But there are basically these like desks that you can put on top of your current desk already that you can raise it up or down, and they're like $90-$100, way cheaper. And you don't have to make room for a whole new desk or whatever. You just put it on top and you're good. So
yeah, that's what the missus has at work. They bought her one of those where you literally like hold in something and it just lifts up.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah.
Because could you imagine how wild it would be if I could like run around like while I was live? If I didn't have to if I wasn't stuck in this chair. Like I could put on a wireless mic and like run around in circles and scream during my intros, and it'd be
Then we
wild,
could get the Blake workout video.
right? Yeah. Or I could
Get
get
you
one
a
of those,
unitard.
I don't know. I don't think we're there yet.
Hot dog workouts. There you go, Blake.
Hot dog,
It's
yeah.
next. You can have that one. You can have
Just
it.
like it's just me eating hot dogs on an e-bike, just like burning and eating, baby, burning and eating.
See, there you go.
But to what you were saying, like those allergies are fairly rare from what I know, because my my best friend, since we're little kids, his son has, I think it's peanuts, strawberries, and something else. And the doctors all told him like it's not super common. So it was happening when we were kids, Blake, but
It just
I don't
wasn't.
think it wasn't until somebody got seriously hurt or God forbid died that somebody's like,
Yeah.
maybe we should like pay attention to
I
this.
mean, seriously, like my younger brother, he has EE, which is esophageal whatever, and basically, if his esophagus gets too inflamed by certain foods, or if he eats too much, he'll throw it up. And so when he was really young, he suffered from that. And my mom took him to all these doctors. She's like, what do I do with my kid? And it got to a point where the doctors, instead of back then, this was even like 10, 15 years ago, rather than recommend, hey, change your diet, see if you can still eat, but you just have to cut stuff out. It'll suck, but you can be normal otherwise. They instead suggested to my mother that they put my younger brother, on a feeding tube for the rest of his life. And it was like, why would you offer that instead of just cut stuff out of your diet? And yes, it'll still be hard. Help them emotionally through the process, give them therapy, whatever they need. But they can otherwise live a healthy life. They can go out to eat still. They just have to eat differently. Like these doctors, they would rather put people on freaking feeding tubes and stuff sometimes before they're like, wait, we can just change a diet and that helps. Doesn't fix the problem, but you don't suffer as much anymore. It's just crazy.
That is crazy. Because I've heard there's like I've heard like some people think like doctors like are big on pushing pills like for everything, right? But like that's apparatus that someone may, and life-changing apparatus that someone may not even need. That's wild. Did changing the diet end up help? Like he didn't have to go through?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
no. Well, and the funny thing is, it's ironic because back like 10, 15 years ago, EE was not known at all medically. Like, I mean, they wanted to use them for all this experimental research and shit because they really knew nothing about it. And now I go to my gastroenterologist because I have ulcerative colitis, so I have to go there more often than other people my age do. And they have posters on the walls now of EE. I'm like, wait, you guys know what that is? And I'm like, oh yeah. And you just have to cut out and it's different for everybody. There's certain things, not everybody with EE cuts out the same shit. Some people have to cut out beef. Some people have to cut out soy. My brother for a long time had to cut out soy, milk, wheat, gluten. I mean, it was miserable for the poor kid. But now, and they can't explain this medically either, he's in remission. So most of the time now, for whatever reason that he's older, he can eat whatever he wants unless he eats too much of certain things. But other than that, and the crazier thing on top of that is anything organic, if it's specifically organic, we don't know why, but if he eats anything organic, he's totally fine. So it makes you think too, what the hell are they putting in our food? And why are our bodies tolerating it? Because his body's like, get that shit out. That's poisonous. Meanwhile, we eat it and just keep poisoning ourselves. Anyway, sorry.
I wonder if he's reacting to the antibiotics and the non-organic.
Who knows?
Wow.
A lot of stuff.
That's crazy.
A lot of weird shit in our food, man.
As I'm
they really
shoving
are.
hot dogs down my throat. Like, yeah, you're right. You're right, Chris.
Listen, and I hate to say it, but if they're putting weird shit in anything, it's definitely in hot dogs too. They're so processed. Like,
yeah.
Do you remember?
Live and have fun, right? So,
did you have the rumor growing up that like the hot dog was full of like pig anuses and everything?
Yes.
All the weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we all.
And I would just be like, I don't care.
Sorry, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Sorry. We did though. We did. We all ate hot dogs as a kid. Now we grew into ass eaters. That's what happened.
Listen,
there's a correlation there.
Listen, they were doing that long before anybody societally decided to try to even mention it. Like, you can't even talk about that anymore because we're so damn puritanical. Like, who cares? Do what you want. Bye. Like,
Dude, don't get me started on that because it's like lately on Kickstarter. There's been If you use
I can't wait to
images
hear
that
about
are-
the ass eating on Kickstarter.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Blake.
well, you never
New
will.
comic from Blake Morgan.
Stripe will shut that shit down.
Wasn't
Take all your
the
money.
cheating. There you go. There's another one.
But that you can't be too sexual with your language. You can't for if you're doing a not safe for work comic, you gotta be real careful with what preview art you show, with how you show variants. A lot of people
Which is crazy because what kid is on Kickstarter going, I want to get a Kickstarter, mom and dad?
Mom,
Kids don't go
buy
on
me this
Kickstarter.
$30 comic from a they're like, no, yeah, it's a special crowd and it's not children.
It's like kids aren't getting exposed to that unless the parents, they look over the parent's shoulder and the parent's not like, it's the parent's responsibility. It's not the creator's responsibility. Like
Yeah.
it just, I'm all for protecting kids. Again, I'm a former educator. I work with kids now. But we're shielding kids from the wrong shit. Like, okay, so if they see a cover with boobs, teach them, yeah, those are boobs. What about it? Women have them. Other people that don't identify as women can have them too. I know it's crazy, but it's a thing. I may not get it either. It's fine. I get it, but other people don't, but it's like, we're shaming this stuff because it's all puritanical shit. Who cares? Like, and there's actually studies that show, like legit academic studies that have found that if you teach kids what the real names for body parts are, like the scientific names for body parts, like breasts instead of just boobs and stuff, that can actually help protect them from things like sexual assault. Something as simple as they know how to name their body parts.
Wow.
But people don't want to do that because we're going to shame ourselves. Like, that's dumb to me, like we need to educate kids, and sex ed doesn't mean you're teaching them about sex or how to do it or whatever. It means you're teaching them about their own bodies, and hey, you can say no even to an adult you trust, and you absolutely should, because most of the time the ones after them are adults they trust.
Yeah.
Anyways, I could be on that.
I remember those classes, and so I went to a private school. My parents put my sister and I, sorry, through in Catholic school, and they called it Fully Alive. And that was when you learn about the names of all the body parts and what a baby does in the uterus and the cycle, what a period is and all that stuff. And the real teachers, like the teachers at the actual school, wouldn't. They didn't teach those classes. They had parent volunteers come in and do it. It was really weird. And
Dear God, imagine you're a kid and your parents the one volunteering for that discussion.
Yeah, it was my buddy Jimmy Miller's dad. It was talking to us about how it's important to clean your balls and stuff, and
it's a good lesson. It's a good lesson.
It was a lesson. Hey, I think we're all comic book people. We've all been to conventions. There are a lot of people that don't know how to wash themselves very well, right? There are still people that either don't why they don't want to use. I had a boss that didn't use deodorant because he thought it gave.
I'll be right
cancer.
back, guys.
You're good. But there's stinky people. So yeah, learning to wash and clean yourself. But still, I still remember we were in 6th grade, and anytime he said testicles or penis or whatever, and everybody would look at Jimmy and be like, your dad's saying crazy shit right now. And it was just,
yeah, dude. When I was going, I think it was 7th grade, and it was like Beavis and Butthead, man. We're just giggling in the back, penis.
I got kicked out of a DARE class one time too. Before I ever even did drugs, I got kicked out of a DARE class because we were laughing because we had a stupid DARE workbook, and it was it was so, the cartoons and stuff were so stupid in it, and it was just we were in 6th grade, but these things were made for people way younger than us, right? And it was just and so we were just we were laughing at the images and stuff. I remember we got kicked out. Me and a dude got kicked out. Anyway, that's why I went down some dark roads when I was.
All right, this is what happens when I leave y'all alone. Come on, guys. Come on.
I was talking about.
Y'all were supposed to go crazy.
You left Blake with the grump, and that's what you get. You can go down dark roads.
I was talking about doing drugs.
The usual.
Yeah.
Everybody does them.
What goes great with comics? Drugs. Sorry.
That's how a lot of great comics are made.
Yeah, that is that.
Yeah, look at the 70s boom. There's a lot of drug use in there.
I've helped make a lot of comics on drugs. I probably shouldn't say that live, but that's okay. That's not bad drugs. I can't afford those. You can't work in comics and do bad drugs.
See, the more you backtrack after you say that, the worse it sounds. You can just keep going.
I was hearing that in my head.
Fine.
It's because Blake doesn't want his intervention yet.
But yeah, it's though I will say, because I got to go to Comics Pro in California and it was amazing, and like I got to try California Smoke, which was amazing, and it was very hard. A lot of people were drinking. I don't drink anymore, which is fine. Like I'll hang out with people drinking. It doesn't bother me. But it's just I got tired of it and like just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like a lot of people, I'd be like, it was super like embarrassing, like internally to be like, I wonder, do they get high? Should I say something? And so like, but a couple people I kind of like made like mentions to, and they were like, no, and I was like, oh, cool. I thought we were in California. Sorry. It was just like, so it was very strict because you would think like, and some people do, right? But yeah, they're a drinking. Comics are a drinking crowd. They do like to drink.
Yes.
Which is again, that's fine. All power to you. But yeah, so we were in California. Like I thought it was gonna be like walking outside and being like, whoa, who's, and anyway, it's just a little different than I thought.
I'm sure
Tommy
it wasn't
said,
first.
yes, we do. Yeah. I love Tommy, by the way, because Tommy, when I showed up in California, Tommy was pretty lit in the hotel lobby, and they were going to have like some people were going to hang out in the room after hour, and he was like, Blake, I know you don't drink, but I got Diet Mountain Dew, and I was like, you're a good one, Tommy. like so anyway, yeah.
So when they first
I'll hang
legalized
out.
in
If
New
there's
York,
Diet Mountain Dew, I'll hang out. Anyway.
yeah, when they first legalized in New York, it was everywhere, man. Like, just you would see them down the street, just pull out a bowl and go, and it's calm down sense.
It's the same in DC though. I remember, and it's probably calmed down too. But like I remember like going to DC Pride, like 2 years in a row, probably 8 years ago, and I mean during Pride, like by Union Station where the parade comes through, it's all fucking weed. It's all, and listen, I just want it known that like people can do weed and all that. That's great, and again, it actually does have medicinal effects that they're still trying to research and figure out. But I have asthma, and I'm like, guys, why does it have to be smoke? Can you guys just do edibles? I just want my lungs to be fine. Y'all do you, but can you guys do edibles? You're killing me.
No, they got so. I know this is finally what I've wanted my podcast to be about: is food allergies and drugs. This is amazing. but they have I haven't seen the large dose ones here, but I saw a short. One of the guys I follow. He's like a stoner, does stoner content, and he was talking about these things, and they're called dab patches, and it's like a nicotine patch. But it has like 100 milligrams in it, and it like slow releases it for like, they take like an hour and a half to kind of meter it out, but still 100 milligrams, still a pretty nice dose. And he said like his new joke is he like, when his friends are hanging out, he like comes up and like slaps him on the back of the neck with one, and he's like, oh, gotcha. And they have like, but anyways, like no smoking. They have like the crazy drinks and stuff now. It's really, they have salve, like, I had a buddy make salve, and my dad was using it, and he would like rub it on his back, and it didn't like make him high, but it eased his muscles. And so it's like, it's really crazy now that it's like been legalized, like all the crazy stuff that they can do with it. Like it's in there's gum, there's cupcakes, there's shakes, there's ice cream, there's everything you could want. You could just get honey. You can go to the stores and just get a little deal of medicated honey and just eat spoonfuls of honey. Like, if you want to, you don't have to, you can, but yeah, it's just, it's gnarly. It's, if you don't want to smoke, you don't have to anymore, which is crazy. Cause like, I remember when like concentrates first started being a thing, and like, it was so weird. Like people on YouTube are doing it. Right? Like we're watching people. I'm like, we know this stuff is real. We just have to find it. And it was like, it took forever to come to Kansas City and stuff. Very, very strange. We have not talked about comic books at all, and that's fine. That's fine. We did during the intros, which is also weird because like a lot of people are watching. So like maybe we should just keep talking about food allergies and stuff. What's up, Phil? Hey, thanks for tuning in, bud. But I do want to say, so when I took about 6 months off. And I took like, I've talked about this a couple times. Like I have a Tom King interview that I never aired. I have some big name people, and I I was at this old job and shit got crazy. And I like you mentioned this earlier, Lauren, about how like you gotta worry about yourself and focus on yourself sometimes, and even now, like it's like that you're not putting the pressure on yourself to like do an episode every week. It's gonna do one when you feel like it, do one when something cool happens you want to talk about or whatever. And like for me, like the first thing to go was the show. Like I gave all of myself to this job and running this design studio. And then like, I didn't have time to like edit all these episodes I was doing. And I just like fell behind, and I took a while off, and I think it was like 6 months. 6 months was I quit doing my show, and I like, it ate at me. I felt like I was doing something wrong. Like it felt like not doing it was like I was messing up. And I'm not saying like the people out in the world needed me. Like I needed it. I needed to get on the mic. I needed that to be excited once a week, and to just kind of blow off steam and be myself and not worry about shit for an hour or whatever. And so like I really missed it, and like starting doing it, I don't know, like it made. It's like when you try like working out or going for a walk, and it really does kind of help and change your brain waves and stuff. Did you get that, like coming back and doing these new episodes and like you're trying to do the I can't fucking talk. You're trying to do the Discord stuff now, and just obviously you miss the community a little bit, but are you feeling that like that reward of like being a voice in the community again?
I mean, I felt it more when I first started. So for me, it was what kind of led me to really have the guts to do it, I guess, even though it wasn't perfect, because I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, and I care about the audience. I care about what people even watching this think, and are they hearing what they want to hear, or even not necessarily what they're looking for, but what could be helpful or entertaining at least. And I know I'm capable of putting out the best product possible. Like I can put out the best product, but the problem, I beat myself up because I know a lot and I can do a lot, but that doesn't mean I should, or that's best for me to do it and to do it all the time. But I was taught you do your best, you always give 100 and hard work. And there's so many even successful people that still talk about that, which is wonderful. But for me, it's become, don't try to be perfect. Like you said, just be you and roll with it. And that helped to be more enjoyable. So before I came back, I went to HeroesCon this year, and that helped me get back with the community first, actually, before even doing the podcast, because I got to see a lot of particularly indie creators that I knew. And I'm going to be honest, I kind of had imposter syndrome, because I was like, I haven't talked to these fuckers in like 2 years, and not fuckers like bad, but I'm just beating myself up, so you shade language. I'm like, God, these fuckers, they're going to think I'm an asshole. I just abandoned them. I didn't say shit, and I haven't reached out, and I feel like an ass. But everybody was just so welcoming. Everybody was just like, oh my God. And they remembered me. They hadn't forgotten who I was. And, if they had been on my show before, they were like, hey, I really want to come back on. And just the fact that that's what I want to do. Like I've said the last couple of years now, if I could be the Oprah of comic books, that would be great. Like I want to lift other people up. I don't need my podcast to be the greatest podcast ever because people want me. I just Joe. I want to be able to help other people I bring on or what I'm promoting. I want them to look good. I want to be able to be like a casting director that gets to say, I cast Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Like, I want to be able to say, dude, like, and I get to say to some people, like, I got to talk to Stephanie Phillips before she got really big. I talked to Ram V as he was getting really big. I've known Stephanie Williams before she's popped off and everybody loves her, and she's absolutely astounding. Like, and I don't just say that to brag. I just get to be like, oh my God, I got to be part of that and help them. Yeah. And that's just so fucking awesome. And I get to still, every once in a while, they'll still humor me. Like I see Stephanie Williams at least twice a year with cons, because she goes to so many now, which is so cool. And she always remembers me, and she's always so courteous. And she's like, and I'll be like, hey, I know you're swamped. I know I got your email, but if you ever want to come on, she's like, no, please bother me. Like you are allowed to. I'm just busy, like you said, but I want to come on. And it's so gracious when you find people like that. Cause that's, like you said, man, like, I know I talk super cheesy, but I mean it. Like I want to help the people that are the best become the best and show their light to everybody else. Cause that's who we need, especially like God, this week we lost Dolly Parton, Tim Curry, and we've lost those other people over the last year or two even, but we need to amplify more people because we're losing good people already. Like, I know. And it's not that you want somebody to be next Dolly Parton. No one's going to be Dolly, right? But you want we need to amplify good people into these statures so that they can do all the good with the resources and privilege. Because that's the thing, we talk about resources and privilege like they're bad, but if you'll do good things with them, that's what we want. I want good rich people. Like, I don't want them to be too rich. We don't want billionaires, but so anyways, that's a tangent. But yeah, I met people at HeroesCon and I was like, they were like, are you gonna do a podcast again? I was like, so I told them, I was like, well, I kind of feel like an imposter. Like, I'm just kind of glad you remember me and you're not mad at me. And they're like, dude, why would we be? Like, come back when you're ready. And so I've been wanting to get them on the pod. I haven't done that, but that was my fuel. And I was like, well, shit, if they're willing to welcome me back, I don't have to do anything perfect. And they're encouraging me. They just want me to get my voice back out there too. Fuck, I guess I'll try it. And then, so yeah, when I first started, I really felt that community, but then again, life still gets in the way. Like, I'm kind of learning that I can't be consistent as I've wanted because of my own, like, on and off medical issues. There's some weeks where I'm doing great and then I crash again and I have to reset, take a week or two to get my body back right. And then I'm good to go again. So anyways, sorry for that long ramble, but yeah, it's just tough. And so I'm trying to learn to enjoy it while I have it and not dread, okay, well, it's coming. When's it going to fall apart again? It's going to happen and I'll get back to it when I can. And the community's still there. And that's how I want to be. Like, I still want to be here for you guys too, you know, as I can be. So that's part of it, is I got to take care of myself so that I can still, when I am able to come back, that I can do that. Because if I don't take care of me and I try to push and burn myself out like I've done the last few years, I'm not going to be around much longer to help people. And I want to help. So
I totally feel that. Chris, did you have a similar? Because how long were you off air between Fortress and the relaunch?
It was like 2 months.
Okay,
not even.
Did you like it?
So my big thing with it, and
you have a new girlfriend though, so you were probably, you don't have to.
Well, we're
just
on
like
2 years now.
Oh
so
shit!
new
Wow,
might
my
be.
God.
damn, Blake, what the hell, man?
Time is a flat circle.
Fuck
I really didn't think it had been that long, because it wasn't. Oh wow! I just can't keep track of time. Okay, well, all right, yeah, that's not a new girlfriend anymore. All right,
That's another thing. She's the first one I've been with that supported all of this.
that's cool.
Oh, we love that. We love that.
So when I talked to her about it, the first thing out of her mouth is like, "Well, what are you gonna do afterwards?" And she knows what a workaholic I am, so I'm the type that's going to make sure there's an episode out every week and that I'm always there for people and available and everything. Sometimes to my detriment, where I told myself I was going to do one a week, and then on week 1 I did 2 interviews. So
right, done that.
But I remember Gib was asking me after we did 500 that he's like, "Well, why take the time off?" And I said, "Well, A, there's a lot of work behind the scenes I got to do, and B, I just want to miss it. I've been doing it for 10 years. Like, let me miss it for a little bit."
Yeah.
And it didn't take long. It took 2 weeks. And I was like, fuck, I really wish I did some of these.
Yeah.
And when I came back, and even when I was talking to people behind the scenes about being on the show, everybody was awesome about it. Like, just people wanted to be on right away. I was swarmed with emails immediately. People were sharing it. It felt great because, you know, you get into that cycle and you do 500 episodes and you think, is anybody like care? Anyone out there paying attention? And then you leave for just a minute and you come back and, oh, everybody did care.
No,
there was a ton of people out there that missed the fact that I was out there. So yeah.
No, like I was legit. I talked to Cole. I remember sending Cole a message about it, and I was like, okay, because I'm so bad about this. I start telling a story and then I why off, but we'll get back there. I'm so my father's son. Anyway, but like, so, you know, when I started doing this, there was a few of us like that did it regularly every week. We were around for a while. A lot of it was like a lot of it started happening around COVID. A lot of people that we used to stream with aren't doing it anymore. Like they got tired of it. They got burned out. Lost in Comics was a big one. Like they did the big year-end show every year and a lot of stuff. And like, so I mean, so there's people that kind of and it like took breaks, but then they tried coming back. But anyway, so it's just there's not some of the people that used to go live every week aren't doing it anymore. And it seems like, you know, there's every year there's more of us, but like new people, like the kind of people that were around in the COVID times. It kind of,
It's a lot of burnout. I mean,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
just is. And I think too, it's repetitive burnout because I think like people talk about burnout now, which is nice, but it's still not the most effective conversations a lot of time. I feel like because people are like, oh, well, you burn out once, you come back and you're good to go. But it's like, no, it's constant, especially with, producing content and shit. And again, there's a lot of guilt and, oh, well, if I don't please my viewers or if I don't help them, who's going to be there for them? And then we hold on to that and we're like, I can't, and I don't want to leave people behind, but it comes at such a high cost of ourselves. And it's just, there's got to be a way where we can still be there for our audience and help bring them joy as we can, but we also don't have to sacrifice ourselves. And that's what I found for me, at least, was, eventually I was sacrificing myself, but I kept going back and forth. Like I did that, like after the first YouTube channel was on and I did my own, I took one big break after that for like, I don't even know how long. It was maybe 2 months or something too. And then I started a new show of my own and channel and all that. And then I did that for a while and that was great. And then I kept getting burnt out and I fought myself. I mean, I really did for a long time because I'd be like, okay, I'll take a break this week, but I'll have to be back next week and I can do it. And then it just felt so on and off. It was like a relationship that was falling apart and you want to save it, but you don't know how. Like that's the
Yeah.
kind of thing it felt like with myself and wanting to do this both for myself and for people because I still loved it. But I was like, but why is this messing me up? And it's not just prevent one big burnout and then come back and you're fine. It's you have to constantly work to stop burnout and to also remember why you love the thing. And when you do slip or you go a little too far and you're a little burnt out, how can you bring yourself back without it getting that drastic? And it's tough, especially when you have medical stuff, family stuff, deaths in the family. And I've
Mhm.
had all those things the last few years and they just keep coming. So I mean, like Chris, I admire and I completely understand what you're saying too, of like, you're like 2 weeks, I gotta get back. And I totally, and I get it because I fought so hard to not leave and I fought so hard to be consistent because again, it helped me too. And I missed it, but you have to find a way to make it work for you. And for some people, every week, once you get back on that horse, that's like medicine for you. Like,
Yeah.
and like creating content is medicine for people and going live and talking to people. That's your socialization. Like I do trivia nights with friends once a week, most of the time. And anytime I don't go, I'm like, fuck, now I'm backlogged a week. Like now
Yeah.
I have to go twice in a row if I can feel anything again, to feel joy with my friends.
Like,
I think a lot
luckily,
of people feel like they have to when you get into this kind of thing, especially in the comics world, you have to make comics everything. Like that's who I am.
Yeah.
I'm the comics guy.
Mhm.
And like listen, I love comics just as much as anyone here and I read a ton of comics and it's all around me. But I'm not the comics guy. I'm Chris. Like
Yep.
Right.
football season's coming up. Blake knows I'm going to be all over that. Like that's going to be every Sunday is going to be devoted to that. I work a day job, so I'm at that. I go to the gym. I have things I do outside of this that take me away from comics a lot. And I think that's good. You shouldn't make it
Yeah.
everything. You should have more going on.
No, I did that. It was work, life, hobby, and it still is kind of like.
And
but
that's
I'm
the burnout.
I'm fighting. I'm like I still fight that, and I'm like right now I have to have a real, like, as they say, come to Jesus, because it's like I love what I do and I love working with indie creators. I'm getting tired of like wondering if the money's going to be there next month or
Yeah.
like am I going to get a client? Am I going to get or I really need another client? Am I going to get that? Or is this, I'm getting 7% of this Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
Is it going to do good enough for that payout to make a difference? And a lot of them haven't lately. And it's just like,
Yeah.
and see, and that's like life. And that's a bummer because I'm glad I got into manga and I'm glad I built the gaming PC and started getting back into gaming. Cause that's been like, I was in a reading slump. I wasn't reading prose or comics or manga. And then I recently read the first Halo novel. And so I've been getting like slowly back into reading, kind of reading a little bit of comics again. But like, yeah, it's just it took over everything real quick,
Mhm.
and then it felt like I had to let it to like keep the job, to keep things like going the way they were going. And then that didn't work out well for me either. So I was like, I literally like sacrificed my body and mind for comics to like try and like just make everybody happy and like work all the hours. Like when I was working at that magazine there, I was doing 80-hour weeks, like easy for like not even $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
You know, and like, so like I'm making money that people laugh at, even though I'm making that money on my own and like for like a skill set that I developed and found out a very niche skill set. But yeah, it's like, anyways, I keep being like, you know, $40,000 a year is nothing to a lot of people, right? And that would like change my life. That would make things so much different. But I'm very, very scared that if I get a full-time job, this is going to go away. Probably not the live show, but like, I don't know if I can do client work and have a full-time job. Client work is a lot. The reason why people hire me is because they're like, Blake, I need you to jump. And it doesn't matter if it's Sunday. It doesn't matter if it's Saturday night. If I'm at the computer, I'll do it. If I'm not at the computer, I'll be like, hey, I'm doing something. I'll do it as good as soon as I get home. But like, I'm boring. I'm at the computer a lot.
I'll tell you, the client work, if you set boundaries, you're fine, but it probably will
you
go
don't
away.
have boundaries. I agree. If
Yeah.
you're like, and I mean, what you're saying again, I worked a job. It was a full-time job, and I was a leader in a company at one point. And I mean, that's what the owner expected me to do. It's, hey, I can call on you. You'll jump when I say jump. You can't function like that, dude. No matter what you do, full-time work, client work, both.
Yeah.
Not. There's no way. You have to, and it's hard when, again, you identify yourself as, well, I'm the guy that just jumps when they say jump. You have to separate yourself from that, because if you don't, that's exactly what's going to happen. It will, you know?
So in my day job, there's a couple of us, but I'm one of the assholes of the group where it's like, well, you know, someone's got to go out and do that job. It's going to mean staying a little late. And I'm like, well, that sucks. And I just walk away.
Right.
I got stuff going on. I have a schedule. This phone is full of shit going on, whether it's interviews or whatever. And, I would just, with that, I always have to say, like, I'm lucky in a lot of cases. Unlike Lauren here, I don't have a lot of health issues. My family is really well. I have a good full-time job. This is the thing I do on the side. This is the thing I do for fun. It's another hobby on top of a list of hobbies that my girlfriend constantly asks me how I do them all. So I don't have that dependency on it. If this goes away tomorrow, I still eat. Yeah. I'll be a little bit sadder because of it, but I still, at least there's a roof over my head and I eat. And I think that's a big difference too. Like, there's not that stress coming down on me to make sure like this video has to hit that so I get this much ad revenue. No, we'll let it grow slowly, and if it makes money one day, that'll be cool. But if not, I had some fun times along the way.
I think about that. It's like, because I have to be online. I don't have to be online as much as I am, but I have to be online a lot. You know, like I post stuff for clients. I make stuff for clients. I've helped if I look for like marketing trends and social media trends to try and like apply that to Kickstarter campaigns and stuff. And I do think about it sometimes, like, man, I feel like I'd be happier, like offline sometimes, you know, and like that kind of like the dream of like walking away from it. But like, it's so weird too, because there's a great community, and I love Threads. I have a great time on Threads. It reminds me of old Twitter. I've met some really cool. It's shit for promotion. Like it will not get me, YouTube subscribers. No one really cares about the Kickstarter campaigns I run, or like if I post about but it's you can be yourself and you can post about shit you're passionate about, and usually people like react to it. And anyway, I've met some like real fun people, and we talk and we send memes, and we some of us like DM now and stuff. And so like there's I think it's weird because like sometimes I feel like I just walk away, like just unplug, like walk away, let all the batteries die, and like walk into a forest and just like build a fire.
But
and-
it
Go
doesn't
live
have
with Bigfoot.
yeah,
it doesn't have to be all or nothing though. That's the kind of thing I learned too. Because again, it's either I fire on cylinders and deliver the best product, or I do nothing. Like that. That's how.
yeah,
Because I got the ADHD too, so it's either all or nothing. Like
yeah,
that is the only thing that makes sense, and
Yeah.
nothing was unacceptable, and sometimes still is, to be honest. Because I mean, I was even thinking about last week. I was like, shit, I haven't put on an episode in like a month. I should get on that, but it's a should. It's not like it's like I'm waiting for something to talk about. So I'm sure after Dragon Con, I'll do an episode talking about my experience with Dragon Con for sure. And wherever else comes up, honestly, and to Chris's credit as well, like I have other things I like to talk about. That's something that I found limiting doing only a comic show. And
Yeah.
that's why I stretched it from your friendly neighborhood comic show. And I stretched it to the nerdy neighborhood because that was always my concept after a while as well with that was, well, I want a nerdy neighborhood. I want to create a network where people like, if people are like, I want a positive place where I can find people to talk about all these nerdy interests I like. And I want one place where I can find that. So I want it to be where people like, I picture it like an old school website where you go to the nerdy neighborhood website, you have a visual nerdy neighborhood you can click through. If you like music, go over here. Find some positive podcasters to talk about any musicians or whatever shit they like there. Amazing. You can go over here to the comics world. You want a Batman podcast, but you don't want to be dickheads and sexist, and you don't have to filter that out yourself because that's too much work. I've already done it for you. And hopefully once you see my content and, I have to earn your trust, right? But if you trust, hey, I trust Lauren's judgment. I trust that if she puts her stamp of approval on these fuckers, that they are going to at minimum be positive people. And so I can go there and grit that stuff over there. And so I just, again, like he said, I love soccer. I coach soccer now, and I am in school for HR and leadership stuff. That's a completely different thing. And I love music. I love comics. I love everything. And I'm like, I want people, and I think this is how a lot of people feel content creating, but it's so hard to do psychologically with an audience. I want people to be sold on me, not just what I'm talking about. Like, I don't, like he said, I want to be the comics girl or what the shit ever. I want to be I want to be Lauren. I want people to go, oh yeah, Lauren, she does all this amazing stuff. Again, you talk about somebody like Dolly Parton. She wasn't just a fucking country singer. People start listing all of the things, the wonderful things she did. And all these different departments, literacy, the music and entertainment and, emergency aid and shit. And she helped out in so many ways, and many ways we don't know because there's so many things she did and never took credit for and never did it publicly. And I feel like that's what people need to understand is it doesn't take you being Dolly Parton to be a person that can also do that. Dolly was unique because she chose to take all these actions and to be willing to, express herself in a wonderful way that many others will never do and can't or choose not to. But we're all capable of doing that if we want. You don't have to have 20 interests, but just be involved and do stuff you like, and don't worry about, oh, well, I have to be the comics person. This is the content people want to hear. Who cares? If you're doing great stuff, they'll follow. And if you're doing it for the right reasons. And so,
I
yeah,
used
I
to worry
agree with
about
Chris.
that a lot because, well, I mean, you all know we have not talked about we've talked about comics for 10, 15 minutes maybe total tonight. But and so I used to be really insecure about this, and so many of my guests told me. Richard Fairgray told me this the other day. It made me feel really good. And he goes, Blake, I come on your show because I can be stupid and silly and weird, and and I can. He was like, I can be myself, and we can have fun, and I can talk about life and whatever. And he was like, I like that your show isn't all about the book, and that made me feel really, really good. Cause it's been like a worry of mine. Cause it's like, do people, there's been people that like, aren't excited to like do my show. Right. There's like, I don't have like a bad reputation, but people like I'm loud, I'm weird. And like people are kind of like, oh, Blake's crazy or whatever, and it's like, and so some people are like, no, I want like a lower key. I want to talk about my book and get out of there. I don't want to talk about my life. And so it's not really like the vibe that everybody has, but a lot of people like it, and listeners like it too. I learned this editing my old boss's podcast. Like, you would see it like when we would do like the ads and the paid promo stuff and shit like that. Like, viewers would drop out, And people would say it, like they would say stuff in the comments during the show, like, "Hey, I love you guys. This is cool, but when you guys start doing too much, like, self gratification, it just kind of kills the vibe." And so like I see that happen. And so anyways, it's kind of, it's weird. Like we all love comics, but just like I was talking about, like if comics is a day job, or you got if you're a content creator and you're doing 3 shorts a week or daily shorts or whatever, if you're really trying to hustle content, like when that's that part of your life and then it turns into work, when you're done with work, you don't always want to like walk away from the computer and hit that stack of comics and start reading. Like sometimes I don't even want to look at a comic after a long day.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. I
Like-
barely touched my reading stack, and I just picked up more comics today to add to it. Like, and it's not because I don't love comics still. It's just I have other stuff I'm focused on a bit more, and comics are there when I need them. And yeah, I mean, it's
I
just
like that. That's
like,
comics are there when I need them. That's a great
like,
statement.
again, why can't we have multiple things we love in life? Like our at least here in the United States and Western culture, we're so obsessed with, when you're a kid, you can love everything. You can play soccer, basketball, band. If you do a million things, every parent thinks you're the best. Every teacher loves you. But once you're an adult, you have to specialize. You can only love
Yeah.
one thing, and that's it. And I think that's ridiculous, because what's wrong with, and it also fluctuates. There are times where I focus more on soccer than I did comics. There are times where comics was everything, and I just listened to music. I wasn't so worried about the music industry or whatever. It fluctuates, and I think that's wonderful. And that means your audience is going to fluctuate, and that's okay. Like, we have to detach ourselves as creators from, oh, well, I have to keep this audience. If I lose any part of my audience, something's wrong, or I'm bad, or they're not. It's going to fluctuate, which means, yeah, you might lose some people. You'll probably get some new people when you talk about other things, and you might get some people come back when you go back to things you talked about in the past. And that's a beautiful thing. But the fact, like you're touching on, and I think that's sweet that resonated with you, Blake, of it's always there when you need it. Like, there's a Buddhist meditation group I started going to in the last couple months. They're there literally every Monday night, like even most holidays they're there. And I got, the first time I formally sat in on them, it just happened to be their 30th anniversary of having what they call a Sangha, their community group. And it was amazing, because they're like, I'm so sorry, this will be different than usual because it's our 30th and we're celebrating and reminiscing. I said, no problem. And I got to watch all these people that aren't even there every Monday, not even consistently, but they were all there that night. They all went out of their way, because that group impacted all those people so much. And every single person, everybody had their own personal things outside of this, but they all said the same thing on top of those other things, which was, this group has always been here when I needed it. Even if I was gone for a month, 3 years, whatever, it was just, I could come back here, and no one asked me questions other than maybe, hey, we missed you, how's it going, or whatever. And that's what we need. We need to trust that our community is going to be there.
Yeah, that's why, and that's, this community has been there for me in a lot of ways. I mean, like financially, this community helped me out. Like I've done a GoFundMe a couple times, and like I remember when I had my little cousin died, and some people donated to the funeral because it was a suicide, and it was fucked up. But like, oh my god. Anyway, but like literally, like people like in the community like came together and donated. It was like, I know it's my family, right? But it was my cousin, right? It wasn't even like my dad or my, it was like, extended family, and people showed up and like helped and like donated to the GoFundMe and stuff. And it was just like, even my family was like, holy shit, who are these people? And it was actually pretty cool, and so yeah, it's this community is one of the best things. And I'm noticing that, like you've said, like talking about other stuff, like Chris and I would give each other shit about football, right? Like when our teams played each other, there's a lot of other like indie comic guys that are into all people. I mean, I still use gendered language, and it pisses me off. Like, I cannot get guys out of my inventory anyway, but there's a lot of comic people that like sports, right? Not a ton, not as many as wrestling, right? But it's there. But then like wrestling, and you can find these comic people that are in to other shit, right? And then that's kind of why I started getting excited about video games, because I built this gaming PC and I'm having fun with it again, and there's all these crazy games, and there's new ways to experience narratives, and then also just shooting stuff and blowing shit up is really fun. And but there's a lot of there are a lot of people into video games, and you mentioned this, Lauren, because it was like you get to be an adult and you're told that you have to focus. You have to focus on one thing. You can't have too many hobbies. You can't do too many things. You can't spread your wings too far, basically, right? And like I do agree that that's bullshit, but we are also taught that as content creators. Like you start doing like people told me I was stupid. They were like, dude, you need to make another channel for video game content. Don't start dumping that on your own YouTube channel. And like I'm not listening. I'm not making another channel. Like that's a lot of work. And like this has already been a ton of work. And I'm coming up on 700 subs. Like, it's anyway.
Hell yeah.
But it's like I don't think, fucking algorithm, like do what you're passionate about. Because I guarantee you, like, if all three of us talked about burnout for an hour and 20 minutes, maybe you would hear a couple smart tidbits that you already heard us talking about it. But like, if I forced a topic and kept us on the rails the whole time, and like the audience can hear it. The audience can hear like everybody's bored. They can see it. They can see when people are checking out. And so it's like there's visual and audio cues that you can take, but like that doesn't really happen when we just kind of like let the conversation go. And like, yeah, it didn't, maybe things don't, go as planned, but you're talking about the health of your family and why that matters and why that's important to you, and Chris was like, Blake, I've been with this woman for 2 years, you idiot. Like, I obviously, like, there's things, but, like, we're talking about life and, like, comics will be there for you when you need them, and comics can make life better, but life makes life better, too. And sometimes life is worth talking about, and life is worth celebrating about. And a real good book or comic book talks about life in various ways, how it relates to us, even how it relates to like people with superpowers, but there's still like that universality between us and the protagonist and even the antagonist sometimes, right? So yeah, it's I used to be real scared about that, and I told you I would tell the story about the first time I went live, and the first time I went live, I was by myself, and I was really, really nervous, and we had blackberry vodka in the freezer, cheap blackberry vodka. And I was chugging vodka and chasing it with Diet Mountain Dew, just trying to like calm my nerves, right? And I drank a lot of vodka in about 10 minutes, very quickly. And on the show, as the show progressed, I got more intoxicated, and the alcohol was just hitting me every second the live stream went on long. And so like I'm slurring, I'm like talking about comic news passionately, like waving my arms around like, rah, and it was just like I was very embarrassed. And then after that, so many people said it was hilarious, and then for a long time I thought I had to be drunk on the live streams, and that's why I used to drink so much on the live streams. But yeah, anyway, that was the first time I went live. I drank so fast the alcohol didn't hit me for like 20 minutes. And it was just like, I was just like more, it almost looked like a skit. Cause I was just getting, Chris has seen me. Chris saw me. I'm pretty sure I blacked out on a stream with him and Cole one night. Cause I actually know I did. Cause I remember the stream had ended, but I was like, the next day I was like, I don't remember going to bed. I was like, and then Chris was like, yeah, you crashed out pretty quick. But it was like, Lauren, this happened.
To be fair, Cole shut me off a few times too, because I was getting pretty inappropriate.
But like, I used to wake up in the morning or whenever I crawled out of bed when I was hammered, and like my lights would still be on, the computer screen would still be on. It's like the mic would still be down. So like not remembering ending the live stream, and basically just hitting done and walking straight to bed and passing the fuck out. And so like, that's obviously not healthy, but that was another thing. Like for a long time, I was like, oh shit, do I have to drink to be funny? If I don't drink anymore on the show, or are like people going to watch it? Is it still going to be entertaining? Obviously I figured that out quick, but
yeah, I mean, people throw this word around a lot too on social media with, oh, be authentic. But again, I don't think we have a lot of effective conversation around that, because being authentic authentic, a lot of people, they use those conversations to try to put up an image of what being authentic is. And I'm like, that defeats the purpose of being authentic. Like, you going through, whatever period of time, and you might do it again now. Like, it doesn't mean you're in a bad place, but whatever, like you said, at that first stream, at least, oh, well, I'm stressed, I'm good. But that was authentic, and people picked up on that, and people liked it because you weren't trying to create this false sense of authenticity that you were put together. They're like, hey, this guy's kind of like me. Like, he's clearly nervous, but he's trying. He seems like a fun guy. And oh shit, he's drunk. It's kind of entertaining too. But like, it's relatable. Like, being pretty and perfect isn't relatable. It's something that we all, at some point in our lives, I think if we live long enough, falsely aspire to sometimes, because we're like, wow, what if I could be like that? But no, like, people want to see us flipping our shit. Like, I don't think I've ever gotten drunk on a live stream before. I should probably do that at some point, because people will probably like me less filtered, because I'm going to talk shit too. Like, half the time I get on streams for the first time with other, comic podcasters, and most of the time they're men. And I feel like sometimes, if I'm not super close with them yet personally, they like walk on eggshells. Like, well, she's a woman, I need to behave. I'm like, well, of course I don't want you to be a dick and sexist or anything, but you can still talk shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, I know you're a man. Like, whatever.
Can't be sexist
like,
this week, Chris. We got Lauren here.
I mean, well, even if you are, I'll call
bringing
you
down the vibe, Lauren.
I mean, but even seriously, they're like so afraid of slipping. I'm like,
No,
I have
I
no
get
problem
it.
calling you out on it if you
I
do,
get
and
it.
I'm gonna laugh about it still, and we'll move on. Because again, I know you're a good person, and we're fucking human. Who gives a shit? Like, so it's just like, people want to see us having fun, and because I think too, a lot of people that watch this shit, they're not getting the opportunity, like you said, Blake, to go live life themselves. And so they're doing it vicariously through us. And a lot of people are like, well, that's so sad for them. But it's a joy for us, because we get to give them that experience, even if we can't, give them the real thing, technically, we can give them something good, know?
And it doesn't mean that they're like sad hobbit people, right? It means,
Right.
I said hobbit, sad hermit people. Not all hobbits are hermits.
Damn, Blake, they're gonna come get you for that one. All the short people, they're gonna be like, I'm a short king, Blake. How dare you?
But like, it's sometimes I don't have any real life people that read comic books. A lot of people don't even watch the comic book movies anymore, because there's so many, and so like a lot of my friends are like, dude, I'm a fucking dad now. I don't have time to watch 30 movies and 18 TV shows to get caught up for the new Doctor Doom movie, like, and so so I just sometimes it's nice to have those podcasts on. Even if I'm working late, some nights I have them on, because it's like listening to people be nerdy. It's just kind of nice, right? And it's just like, because I forget sometimes that, like, even though like maybe I'm not as excited to read a comic book all the time as I used to be, and I will admit that. And working in comics did change that a little bit, but I still love them, and I still like. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like reading a great comic book that, like, when the art and the script and everything's it's just hitting, and you're vibing with the characters, and that story's taking you somewhere. It's like nothing else. It's not like a movie. It's not like a novel. It's not like watching a play. It's like nothing else in the world, and it's magnetic and marvelous. Okay, but working in the industry has changed my viewpoint on some of these things, and so anyways, it's just nice to hear people be excited. Right? Like, especially when there's a lot of people sad, or like, Dolly Parton just died, or all this, the scary, crazy, scary videos from Nepal that we all saw today. Right. And like, I mean, just going to work and getting like obliterated by a mudslide. Like, it's insane. And, and so it's nice to just kind of hear people be excited, hear people be joyous. Lauren, you did this a lot. Like, when you talk about Supergirl, like, Supergirl, I was part of the problem. I didn't talk shit on the movie, but so many people were talking shit on the movie. I kind of checked out from it, and I was just like, I'll watch it when it's streaming, but I am tired of hearing all the negativity. I'm tired of seeing all the memes and all these weird dudes like hate on this woman, and like, she's not ugly, and everybody's calling her ugly, and it's so weird, right? And so like, all this stuff, and I was just like, I was over it. And then like, for real, like your excitement and like, cause you were like, oh, it's finally out. And like, we're gonna do watch parties and I'm gonna watch it again. And I was like, oh shit, it's out. It's on digital. And I watched it and had a great time. And then I told my dad about it. And my dad was like, oh, I haven't even watched his Superman movie yet. And so then my dad watched Superman and Supergirl, and he really liked both of them. And my dad's a grumpy 70-year-old man who doesn't like anything.
So he's like Chris.
He likes going fishing and he likes Chiefs football. That's about it. And so, it's just it's hard sometimes. And yeah, so like just you can have friends and you can have people in real life, but sometimes your passions don't align in every kind of way, and sometimes you're not into the same hobby, right? Like, wouldn't it be great if all our friends wanted to play D&D and it was amazing to get parties together super easily, right? Like, but no. And so like we have dinner parties and football parties and stuff, but I don't have people to watch nerd stuff with. I don't have anybody other than the internet or you people to be like,
I you people right here. What the fuck do you mean, man?
Part 1. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I have you people, but like I watched Nightfall part 1 last night because it's on digital and it dropped on digital and it's so good.
And we could have done a watch party in the Discord, but you didn't ring my bell.
I know.
I
didn't. And I do need to. I had a buddy the other day talk to me about. He was like, "Man, it's crazy. We've never like hung out over Zoom and like smoked together." And I was like, "People do that?" And
yeah.
They like hang out. And
it's something. Yeah.
And because I mean, that's what you do. Like if you smoke a joint with people, you sit around in a circle, you pass the joint around. Anyway, but I was like, that's just something I never thought of doing. And I won't tell you what guests the other night, but the other night after a show, me and a couple guests were talking, and I was like, I busted out the Puffco, and everybody was like, "Oh, we're smoking," and it was like we had this little like post Blake's Buzz smoke sesh, and I was like, I kept joking, and I was like, "Oh shit, we're still live," and they were like, "That's not funny, man." And I was like, because like after the show, people always tell me stuff, because I have like that face, and I listen, and they're the people trust me because they're silly. No, I don't tell people shit. But it was like when the cameras go off, like though I hear stuff, and they tell me, and it every time, like because we're in the green room like after this, and so it still looks like the same screen except it's just not recording live, and everybody's always like, "You aren't like recording this, right?" And I'm like, "No, man, you're good. Yeah. Like you can talk about the publishers, like because it's crazy. Because it's also funny because people will do like their promo and they'll be like, "Yeah, we're having a great time and it's so fun working on this IP and da da da." And then you talk to them after the show and they're like, "I'm so over sending shit to these IP people for approval and da da da," and like telling me I can't draw. And I'm like, "Oh my God, this sounds absolutely terrible." And so yeah, anyways, but yeah, so it's just like that. It's nice, even for the comic book professionals who do this for a living and have writing and art contracts and all this other shit. Like they don't even all the time get a place to vent and let loose and be themselves and talk about work, right? Well, and so we all need it. We all need that release.
I've told my nephews, because they're at that stage of trying to figure out what they're going to do for work and whether they're going to go to college and all that bullshit. And I said, I've met a lot of people who have their dream job. And you know what we all have in common? We all sit around bitch about work.
Yeah.
That's so true.
1,000%. And
yeah, that's so true.
I mean, and to add to what you're saying, Blake, and I really appreciate what you said earlier too with the excitement and all that. But that's the kind of, I think, again, we just need to be there for people. So again, even if you can't be consistent the same day every week or whatever, just show up when you can. And then people know that even if you can't be available the same time, the same day, wherever, they're like, "Hey, when you need me, or if I need you, you're going to be there. Like, I know I can ask for you and you're going to show up," because that's what I've been trying to do. Like, again, with the silly watch parties and Discord and stuff, I'm like, look, even if one person will just have a watch, like, well, I'll just put something on Discord and one person, they just pop in, we just sit and talk. It's fine. I don't need a million people. I want people to start realizing that, hey, I want to do things with you guys. And if you want to show up, do it. And I'll be here. And if you're not, that's fine. I still watch the movie and have fun with myself. So whatever. But like, just do it, because then I think that's when people say, you know what? Show us these watch parties. I missed all of them, but I can make this one tonight. Let me just pop in and see what's going on, and it creates that feeling of that safety and that security that I think we really want to not only have ourselves as creators, but to give to our audiences. I've got you as best I can. Like, I'm amazed with Dolly passing. A lot of people are talking about, like, I can't, wow, it's so nice of her that she planned her, like, what happens after she dies. She made sure a video came out to us and all this stuff. I'm like, I mean, it is wonderful she did that, but that's what you're supposed to do. Like,
Yeah.
especially if you live that long and you have all these resources and good things to do with, that's what you do. You need to plan your death. You need to plan how that information is going to get out to people, how you want that to look, how you want things taken care of when you're gone. You're supposed to do that, but other people are like, wow, no one else would do this, but Dolly would. We should all be doing that. Like, at minimum, we should all be doing our best to prepare our loved ones for when hard stuff hits. And also, again, we should always be doing what we can to be compassionate to our audience, but still take care of us. Doesn't mean we owe them the whole story or whatever. It just means that, hey, look, my thing is, I want you to know I'm here whenever you need me as best I can. And I'm going to make my actions match that. And you're going to learn from that. But I think so many people want to be able to say, this is who I am, and that be believable. But people, we don't trust people by what they say anymore, especially because fake news, all the shit's gone rampant.
Yeah.
It's been used against us. They've ruined our trust in everything, including ourselves and each other. And so we need to see action to believe it. And I think that's what's so great with the comic community is, for the most part that I've seen, people match what they say with their actions, for better or worse.
Yeah.
But to speak on the positive side of it, like creators that, they're like, yes, I'll make the time for you. Just reach out more consistently. Don't worry about bothering me. Just do it. They do their part. If they tell you this is how I'm going to do it, and then you say, okay, I feel bad, but I'm going to try it. Don't kill me. And then they're like, yeah, of course I got you. And you're like, holy shit, you walk the talk. That's how you build trust. So
Yeah.
I hear you.
Hell yeah. So I've been trying to segue into this comment for several times because we've brought up Dolly a few times, and I just want to Tommy, Mad Prophet Tommy. So there's an organization called the Bink Foundation, and it's the Book Industry Charitable Foundation. And basically, like, if you have a bookstore or comic book store and you find yourself in hardships, or if the store closes, or you have to have a surgery or something, like, the Bink can help people get grants to help, whether to help the store stay open or to help the employee get the help they need. And they do a lot of really amazing stuff in the comic book community. And Judy, I got to meet Judy this year, and she is the most amazing person. And this comparison, I know, like, a lot of people are like, don't know who Judy Kalchik is, probably, that watch my show, but she's an icon and a force to be reckoned with. And she has that kind of energy that she just, like, she loves books and she loves to help people. And that's her whole life. And like, she's a big part of the Bink Foundation. So anyway, Judy's awesome. My old job, I got to make a trading card of her, and because we did these trading cards to take to a con, and they were these industry insider things, and so I ended up, one of my first design jobs I accidentally volunteered for. I've never made trading cards before. It was stressful as fuck.
It's
like,
still cool though,
no,
man.
it was cool. Like, I
Oh,
did it,
yeah.
and like, I got to meet Judy, and I had Judy sign the card I made, which Tommy's right. Tommy did get the first one, but that was another deal. So, like, I made these freaking cards that, like, everybody was super excited to have Judy sign, and then we brought extra for Judy, and so, like, my trading cards were, like, on the Bink table, and, like, people were taking them and sign. Anyway, it was just crazy. And that was like, I didn't really know, like, I could make stuff then, right? I just was like, my boss asked me to do this thing, and I tried to do it and made these cards. So yeah. So anyways, that was really cool. And Judy's amazing. And also Tommy says a lot of his closest friends he met online. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I make the joke all the time because we've seen that or like, when in the comedies when they're like, well, I have a girlfriend, she just goes to another school, and it's like, I have a lot of friends, they're just online, and it's just like, I'm popular on the internet, mom, right? It's just like, so, and it's funny, but it's also kind of true, but it's that stigma doesn't really exist anymore, right? It's, like, having an online community is like online dating, right? It's just like, it's a normative deal of how to meet people, right? And that's one of the things I do love about podcasting, about comics. You can read a book and be like, I really liked this, and then somehow stumble into like friends you've made for life, right? And then and some of those friends may even go live once a week or twice a month and talk about stuff, and you can watch and leave a couple comments, and it's kind of like hanging out with them, you know? And so it's just like, that's been one of my favorite things about this community, and you know, meeting a lot of the people in the comments, you know, meeting both of you, meeting all the creators, all the cool stuff I've gotten to do. I've had some hardships as well. Like comics have kicked me in the dick a few times, right? And it's like, it's whatever, you know. Jack Kirby says comics will break your heart. No, they'll stomp on your balls, right? And like, or kick you in the guts or the tits or whatever hurts worse. They'll strike you at the tendery, hurty parts, you know. And it's really comics won't. It's the people that make the comics that do that, but you know, whatever. But it's, you know, it's even then, it's like when they hurt you, it's like I don't, you know, okay, well, I still love you. It's kind of an unhealthy relationship, but also it's an unhealthy relationship that gives back a lot, sort of, in a way too. So it's a very strange environment.
That's just life, and I think
Yeah.
I think we spend too much time nowadays. Again, like we're talking about a lot of things that have been going on forever, but you know, people didn't talk about due to stigma and all that, and also just not having the science and all that. But like, we're focused too much on healthy and unhealthy. Like my dad, for example, he, you know, he's pretty overweight, and you know, anytime he eats, he's like, I'm trying to be good today, or oh crap, I ate something, so now I'm being bad. And my dad's a 56-year-old, very successful, early retired pilot, and he's very smart. And I'm like, why the hell are you reducing your worth to whether you're eating healthy or not? And that's a whole other discussion. But my point is, we get so focused on, is this healthy or not? And healthy is important, but I try to use different words sometimes. Like that's why I talk about effective, like, or helpful, because one of my therapists years ago now, she was the first one that after she would give me advice or guidance in the session, she would ask me, she'd go, was that helpful? She'd ask my input. She wouldn't just say, here, take this shit and do it. She'd say, was that helpful? And I was like, wait, you actually want to know? And I don't know. Actually, it was helpful, or, you know, actually, I'm still missing something. And I think that's important. Words matter. People are like, well, it's the same thing. Words matter in the English language, and we respond emotionally different to them. So, yeah, I think being, you know, trying not to be too health nutty, but also not give a fuck. Both are bad. We need some balance between being aware and using that to make more effective and helpful decisions without guilting ourselves and shaming ourselves to fucking death, which is, you know, what we so often do. And like Blake, it breaks my heart when I hear that, like, you know, like I hear so much guilt and shame come out sometimes when you talk about yourself. And this isn't a judgment of you or anything. I just, as somebody who loves so much of what you do, you're such a positive voice as well. And you really give a shit and you really try your damn best. Like, man, it just sucks because all the best people in the world feel the most guilt and shame, and all the worst people feel like none of it.
Why?
You know?
Yeah, that is weird. That is weird. But I guess that's good if you have a, well, I guess not all the time, but sometimes if you have a guilty conscience, maybe you're not a piece of shit. But I guess, you can't. That's not a golden rule.
You just did it there, man. And again, it's fine. I just, yeah, like positive isn't just talking positive about others.
Yeah.
And you would be amazed at how much, and again, I'm still not perfect at it either, but it is so much easier, and you get even better at talking positively and being positive for others when we do that for ourselves. And I see that a lot in the comic community. We're all of us creators that really do care and all that, we're so willing to uplift others. And then we're just like, it's okay that I'm in the dumpster. And it's like, there's humility and then there's trashing yourself. And we don't need to, like, you can be humble and still be happy that, like, hey, you know what? I did a good job. That's pretty nifty. And I'm glad people recognize that. You know, I don't need it, but I'm glad they do. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Lauren, you said something about like finding that happy medium too. I think a lot of times people that are voices in this industry, we don't know how to balance the negativity coming through. Like we feel like, I don't have this problem personally, but I know I see a lot of it. people feel like they have to attack the negativity.
Oh, yeah.
Like you just have to.
Hi.
And I'm thinking back to Blake talking about the Supergirl thing. Like honestly, I didn't see a whole lot of that negativity towards Supergirl. I heard other people talking about it. And so for me, there was no issue. It was okay. Like she's kind of cute. She's a little young, so it's kind of creepy that I think she's kind of cute. But you know, it's Supergirl. I don't care. I want to go see this movie. And I do think some people get too much into my going back to like, this is my thing. My thing is to attack the negativity. And when you're attacking negativity, you're being negative.
Yeah.
So I think you need to find a balance there. Maybe it's unhealthy for me to just kind of scroll past it every time, but
Yeah.
it's also not super healthy to be the one that's attacking it every single time too.
Right.
If you call out, like if you go through the internet, and I'm bad about this because it makes me mad because I make money doing some of these things that people have AI do now, right? And but it's like if you call out AI, every AI image you see, you're like, this is AI, you suck, and I don't like you, even if you block them. And because I do this, or I restrict them, I say something real spicy, and then restrict them. And go about my day so they can like think they're getting me, but I don't ever even see it. But like the more you do that, the more AI you see, the more AI topics scroll across your feed.
Yeah.
But again,
And
we're
actually-
having all the wrong conversations because AI, we've had AI for fucking ever. That's how video games exist.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, AI is the devil. AI has never been the devil. It's humans and these fuckers, these billionaires and corporations are using it to make things easier on them and cheaper and fuck us people over. That's the problem. But people can't even articulate that appropriately in social media because they're just like, we have to stop it. And I'm like, you're right. But it's not that AI is bad in of itself. It's how people are using it.
Yeah.
So, but people can't do that. So we have to say AI itself is bad. We've had AI for fucking ever, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I had a creator who's, I don't think any of them are really, I think one actually went into politics, but there was a group of creators. I did some stuff with them and they pretty much disappeared. One's creating comics now, one's doing politics. I don't know what the other ones are doing. And they would pick fights with, let's just say he who should not be named. And I never saw any of this man's posts. And now to this day, I get push notifications because these people, friends of mine, would argue with him all the time. And it ended up in and this is pre-Musk and everything, Twitter too. So
Yeah.
it's, and to me, it's like, I gotta look at my phone every so often and see, this guy's name. I'm like, I don't care. You go have your corner. I don't care about you. I want to talk about how great Barbaric is or how awesome, whatever book is that I'm reading this week. Like that's kind of where I want to be, but
Yeah.
we each have our niche. So
It's better. Well, I mean, I was raised on Twitter. I was raised as a nerd on the Twitter that like fought Comicsgate, right? Like, and it was like you had to fight them. Because, like, God forbid, like, they spoke.
Well, but that's also when bullying worked. Like, I'm like, half joking, half serious, right? Bullying isn't bad. If you're doing it to people that need to get the fuck out and you're still like, anyways, that's all our discussion. But yeah, it's like bullying bad people worked back then. Now the bad people have manipulated so much and brainwashed so many people that they think bad is good and good is bad, basically, like to oversimplify everything. And the bullying doesn't work because, again, that's still an overcorrection. Like, I mean, Chris is right in terms of there are times where you do have to pick your battles in terms of there are ways that you can effectively push back against negativity. And other times it's like, again, a quote that has been popular with Dolly was she once said in an interview, I don't lose my temper, I use it, because she was talking about how she's not afraid to put you in your fucking place. She's kind, but she's not afraid to tell you to fuck off if you need it. And so it's not that you can't lose your temper, and it's not that you can't ever push back against negativity. You absolutely should. But not only do you need to be smart logically about it, you need to be intentional emotionally about it and the effects it's going to actually have. You need to think about, okay, if I do this, not only could this make me feel good when I get to do it, but what's that actually going to do for others? And in the long run, you have to think further than your temper in that moment. So you don't need to fight the negativity by going gung ho. all the time. You need to, it's like people talk about in general. Why aren't people mad enough? People are plenty mad and upset with everything going on, but nobody knows how to organize. That's what's missing. People, we need to communicate and actually, instead of just only having pitchforks, go, okay, what can we do with these pitchforks? Or do we need to switch our resources? What can we do to bring what we need together? But there are people doing it, but not enough of us are able to organize because we're all being pushed apart. We're doing it to each other as well. So it's like, yeah, just, you got to be smart about it. And that's also where we're comics. It wasn't just outright bullying. You had people, I remember, at least from what I was a part of, that people tell me, hey, stay away from Comicsgate, don't promote it. And that's how I fought the negativity. I didn't tweet every day, fuck Comicsgate.
Yeah.
I simply made sure that I audited even more than I already did anyone I had on the show, to make sure I was not supporting anybody Comicsgate that was trying to get through.
Yeah.
That's how I fought that. I got more intentional about it. And I think more people doing that pushed them out, because Comicsgate couldn't just go, look at these loud fuckers. They're worse than we are. They're so extreme too. We were intentional about organizing, pushing them out eventually. So, I think it's important that people realize that, like, don't lose your temper all the time. It happens. I get it. We're human, but learn how to use it. Learn how to use your anger and your frustration and, even your sadness, learn how to take good actions from that.
Yeah.
That is
I always
really
tell
good
regular people
advice.
too, like, there's things in my life that I boycott. There's many things that I personally do not support for various reasons. I don't think you've ever seen me post about it or tell people they have to do it. So sometimes too, not everything has to be a virtue signal. Like, look at me, I'm not eating at this restaurant because of this reason. It depends on what the reason is. There's obviously layers to everything, but you have to find that balance and be like, is this really worth? Because sometimes I post something and then I immediately regret it because I'm like, well, this has led to like 2 hours of me arguing online that I
do that
don't
all the
need that
time.
in my life.
Yeah.
Anytime I get, like, if I get super heated or like pop off on someone, I always feel and it's like, especially like a stranger, I just feel stupid. I'm like, I feel stupid for like wasting my energy and like publicly wasting my energy. And like, because basically what you're seeing is like me crash out on someone, right? Because I'm like, obviously I have other shit going on. Obviously this comment triggered something that was like boiling already, right? And so like, you're just seeing me crash out on someone, and then I'm like, and then later on, I also call it Catholic guilt, right? Because I was raised Catholic, and it's just like,
Oh yeah, that explains a lot.
yeah, and I'm like, oh,
Listen,
like,
anytime somebody says that, I dated a woman who was raised Catholic, even though she didn't actively practice formally during the time we were together. Just being raised Catholic, you're already fucked. Sorry, you can't save it. You can be the best person ever. You can be so intentional, and it's like its own form of brainwashing. Not to trash Catholicism, but
no, you
guilt
trash it.
is great. Guilt is just, and Catholicism just really holds guilt to be the everything.
Yeah,
which is ironic because
like
they're also like,
central.
but we forgive, and you're like, but after you forgive me, then you guilt me more again.
You literally like take brand new babies and coat them in sin. Like, look,
Crazy.
every baby, every sweet innocent child born is covered in sin. It's so weird. Anyway, that's a whole nother 2 hour.
Yeah,
but I do. Tommy brought another good comment to the table. He says he fights negativity by only talking about the things he likes, and that is what aggressive positivity is all about. The show on Tuesday nights. But both of you do that too in your content. I've seen you, like, Lauren, you get super excited and passionate. Chris, like, you get super into the guests that you interview and the indie comics you talk about. And now you're doing all of it like solo. You get to live my fresh hell. It's great. It's you don't have anyone to fall back on, man. It's just you and the guest. It's terrifying.
Luckily for me, I'm a little bit drier than you are. So I ask a question, they go on for a half an hour, and then I just ask a second question. The show's over.
they do half the job. I've started telling people, the best skills you can have in life are to remain curious and to be curious and to be adaptable. Those are the two best things you can have. You can take that in any market, anything you love to do in life. I mean, even if you're a serial killer, those things are helpful. Not saying you should be, but like literally those things are applicable in every part. And so many problems, if you really dig deep into people's troubles, they come back to people struggle to be adaptable, and we all do at times, including myself, and or people forget or are not curious in a moment and they get stuck because it's like, well, did you think about this? They're like, well, no, I didn't. And it's like, now I have something else to think about, and that can create a new direction for you to go in and a new perspective. And I just, be curious, be adaptable. And that's what I love about comics. Comics are a great medium to be curious and adaptable because there's so many things you can do with them. You're not limited to only text, only pictures, only one audience. There's multiple, like people talk about comics like it's one genre. And I'm like, it's not. Comics aren't just superheroes. There's romance comics. There's comedy, even though it's less. Like, there's all different genres. Same with anime. People talk about anime like it's a fucking genre. They're like, do you watch anime? Okay, well, then you've obviously seen this. No, I haven't seen that. I don't watch horror anime. I watch other animes. And they're like, well, you're not real anime then. Real anime fan. I'm like, fuck off. It's not a genre. It's a medium. It's an animation style. That's literally the thing. And people, that it drives me crazy with the anime fandom, and why, even though there are animes I like, I don't project that out there because the anime fandoms are crazy. And they're like, you have to watch everything I watch or you're not a real fan. And I'm like, get that away from me. Like,
my own sister and brother-in-law shamed me for watching Attack on Titan dubbed.
Yeah.
They were like, I can't believe you're watching this dub. Like, they pay voice actors a shit ton of money now. Like the dubs in anime now are not like the old Dragon Ball dubs, right? They're
hey, calm the fuck down right now.
Hey, I love Dragon. I recent DB and DBZ convert, right? But like the dubs aren't that, like they're a little rough around the edges sometimes. And like the new, like the Chainsaw Man dub, phenomenal. Jujutsu Kaisen dub, phenomenal. Solo Leveling dub, like they're hiring big time actors to do stuff. And then what gets me is they do these anime cons and they bring in these Western voice actors, and everybody lines up to meet them and get these autographs. And they bring in these huge lines and shit, right? And there's still like 5 little weirdo weasels out there. I can't believe you're watching these dubbed animes. Like, you eat dirt.
Blake, here's my soapbox, right? Okay. Right. I'm gonna piss off every anime fan here right now. The people, if you want to read subs and listen to the Japanese voiceovers, go for it. Be you, do your thing. Do not tell me that the Japanese voiceover is better than the dub, because you don't fucking know. Literally. Unless you can read and speak the language, which also, I would be willing to bet 90% can't.
You have the script, guys. You don't. Like, how are you telling me it's bad if you don't have the script to go, okay, the Japanese voiceover translated the script better than the English one. You don't have the script.
Yeah. It drives me insane. They're like, oh, well, the Japanese voice actor is just better. It's like, no, you don't know that.
No,
as far as you're concerned,
they like the noises. They literally like the noises that they make, like the cool
it's just
sounds.
It's cultural appropriation isn't the right term, but it's something akin to that of like, it's what do you call that? I can't think of the word, but basically, like, anime's become so big, especially on the Western side, the last like 15 years or so, and like I've watched it rise since I was probably in high school, and it's just crazy because people like fetishize. That's the word I want. I don't like that word either, but it's accurate. People fetishize Japanese culture. They're like, I love anime. So if I love anime, that means I have to like everything Japanese. And that means if I like Japanese, that I have to do everything Japanese. That means fuck Western shit, fuck everything else, and everything else is bad. And it's like, that's not helpful. You're not appreciating Japanese culture then. You're fucking fetishizing it. Knock it off. That is absolutely offensive and not helpful. You can still like you said, Chris, you can still love the subtitles. That's fine. Why are you being weird about it? That is fetishizing it. Shut your mouth. Why are you like, oh my God, I have to go to Japan or else I'm not a real weeb? No, why can't you just say, I'd love to go to Japan. I want to learn the culture. Nothing wrong with that. But now you got to make it about, I have to be a true weeb or not. Get out of my face.
I'm going to pick on the Western fans here for a second too, just to be fair. The Western fans that won't read manga, I don't know what you're doing, because I'm going to tell you right now, Death Note and Vinland Saga are two of the best comics I've ever read.
Yeah.
And I use that word intentionally because manga is comics, whether you like it or not.
Right. It's a medium within comics. 1,000%.
Yeah.
It's just a different cultural perspective on the medium. That's all it is. But it's all comics.
Sequential narrative storytelling.
Yeah.
That's
Like are English comics not comics? Or do we have to have a separate word for Judge Dredd and all that?
Yeah.
Well, but then you also have the manga fans that they're like, oh my God, Western comics are so bad. And then you have the anime fans like, Western animation's so bad. Okay, fuck you. There's a lot of really great Western animation. Who saw The Wild Robot? That movie's fucking phenomenal and beautiful. But because it's American animation, people don't pay attention to it in this fucking country. Which again, you think it'd be our way around, but when it comes to the prominence of manga and anime, which is a wonderful thing in itself, but
you're seeing that flip too.
Yeah.
Because was it me and you, Blake? Or was I talking to somebody else where like the adult animation that's coming out, and I think Invincible is kind of the catalyst for this right now, is flipping that script where like that's a super popular show. And now all these other comics are getting adult animation.
Yeah. Well,
or anime,
you're about to see a new pipeline. I actually not to name drop. I mean, a lot of people there, but I got to listen to Kirkman give a speech about Invincible and animation and comics at Comics Pro, and it was really cool. And because basically that used to be like, other than like writing for the big two, a lot of indie people would be like, oh, I want a movie deal. I want to write this deal. I want to get I want someone to make a movie. Because even if they option it, you get a check. Like maybe it doesn't ever get made, right? But they option it, you can get paid. And so that was kind of like a goal for people. And you saw a lot of people make comic books with failed scripts from movies and TV shows and stuff. And some of those people had comments about that, right? Of people bringing those scripts into comics and having them made, right? Because they don't always translate perfectly. And it's like some people didn't understand the medium enough to like tell their stories successfully. They were just like, it's a script. We'll put it here. But yeah, there's a new pipeline for indie comics. So like, yeah, it's unlikely that every indie superhero book is going to end up with a live action blockbuster, right? But it's not that crazy to think that every big indie book that does well could have an animated movie or an animated series. Like, and I think, well, we're already seeing it. We're seeing it with Something Is Killing the Children, with Radiant Black's about to get one. And you know, it, like you mentioned, in Invincible. And so, yeah, like we're about to see a big rolling tide of popular indie works going in, getting good animation.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are excited about like Western animation because of that. And I will say that, is it as beautiful as Demon Slayer? I don't think anything can be, honestly. Like when you go see Demon Slayer on a movie screen, that is insane. And it's crazy what they can do with animation.
Movie is phenomenal. That was actually my first, like, I saw that movie having never seen Demon Slayer before.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah. I mean, I read enough to understand the premise, and I mean that worked enough to be able to like understand what was the general plot, which is really all you need, because they do such a good job in the film, especially with the emotional storytelling and the characters. And then I watched the whole show and I was like, you know, I enjoyed the show, but the movie was better than the entire fucking show.
Well,
it was better completely.
Those movies get more of a budget too. So the movie, of course, is going to look better than the Invincible TV show. But I don't disagree with you. Like, there's going to be anime that looks like crap and anime looks great. But then also with all that, look at Powers. Powers is coming back as an animated series. It had its live action chance and it failed. Mostly because
I still loved. I found Powers in that. Also, it released on the PlayStation console, which
that was
weird.
a stupid decision.
It was doomed to start because you restricted your audience to everybody with a PlayStation only. But I loved that show, and that led me to the comics, right? And I got to interview both those guys, not about Powers, but like at different times. And it was, but like but like I remember Brian Bendis was like couldn't believe it. I was like, no, dude, I loved that show. I was like, I saw the show before the comics, and like I love the comics, but the show pulled me in, and he was like, wow, he was like, it just wasn't received that great, and I was like, yeah, but it was like we didn't go into it too far, but that was like I still so weird. Like, why would we do a PlayStation? Like, anyway, it's just whatever.
Listen, it's just like that. But I do have to hop off, guys. I've been trying to find a good segue.
No, I've kept you 2 hours.
I gotta hop off.
Tell us your Discord and where to follow you and all that good stuff.
You can find me on Blue Sky and Threads and Instagram at friendlynbhdbi. And then the Discord link is on my my beacons link that's on each of my social media profiles. So anybody's welcome. And I mean, it's just pretty casual and chill. There's people that post more often than others, but people. That's the thing, people don't always post 24/7 in the Discord, but they always know they can come back and pop up, and people do that, which is nice. So, but yeah, I'm trying to do more like small community things that are like watch parties are easy, because we can all be at home in our PJs and just watch and talk this shit and, come and go as we want. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh yeah, go follow Lauren, everybody. She's good people. Great voice. I'm so glad, whenever the new episode drops, I'm excited, but like just keep doing your thing. Don't stress yourself out. And I like when the mic feels good, scream into it. That's
oh yeah.
how I do it.
Oh yeah. Listen, most of the time the mic feels good. It's just whether or not I can get to the mic. That's the other thing. But no, thanks for having me on, Blake. And yeah, again, we've known each other for a long time. I think this is the first time I've been on your channel, or I think it is the first. So, and Chris, great to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Lauren, I appreciate you. And I appreciate Lauren told me, she was like, Blake, I only got an hour. She stayed for 2.
I know. And now it's 2. Yeah. Well, because I was having fun too. I didn't feel necessarily guilty, but I'm like, I don't want to.
I was thinking it too, because I got Ahsoka over here who's just been staring at me because it's way past our bedtime. So
yeah, I gotta get ready for bed. I got work in the morning. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks to everybody in the chat that said hi, and anybody that doesn't know me too. It's good to meet you guys virtually. And yeah, I'll see you guys around.
Awesome. Go follow Lauren. And we'll anxiously await that next episode. And I still want to try a watch party on Discord, because the one I did a long time ago.
Yeah, get in the Discord, man. Like it's easy. Like hell. Like I don't even mind if people are like, hey, can I host a watch party even if you can't be there, Lauren? Okay, let's talk about it. I can give you access. Like you can try it out. Who gives a shit? It's easy and it's fun. So, anyways, yeah, pop by. Like I'm just dying to find ways for people to just hang out when they can, because especially with everything going on and how busy we all are and we love different things, like we just want to hang out when we can. So
yeah,
but yep. All right, guys, bye. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, Lauren. Chris, this is I'll give you the same deal. I will shut up for a brief moment in time, and you can spout off all the great places we need to follow, because I do have your YouTube channel and your new website linked in the show notes. But yeah, tell us where to keep track of you.
If you go on a social media app and you put in at Chris the Rundt, as it shows on the screen here, you'll find me there. I'm going down with the ship on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, you name it. Other than that, you can go over to the YouTube. It's youtube.com/@Longbox Conversations. I posted 3 interviews already in the first 2 weeks, and I've got 2 scheduled for this weekend, and I think I have 3 scheduled for next week, and I think I have another 3 scheduled for the week after that. So my 1 a week quickly turned into way more than that. I don't really like to talk about who I have scheduled, because stuff falls through the cracks, and I've been burned on that before. But I promise you, it's a lot of cool people, and there's gonna be some good interviews, I hope. So I'm a little bit drier than Blake, so if you're looking for shouting and hot dogs, I'm not gonna give it to you, but I do try to give some fun, insightful conversations.
No, I like listening to you talk comics, man. You're good. Everybody has different interview styles. Mine is out there, I'll admit. Like I like to scream. I still don't know. I guess I've always been loud, but yeah, anyways. we're not going to go into Blake's origin story. We've been trying to figure out where the hot dog fascination came from, and I don't even know. It just happened, and I feel compelled, and now I'm like addicted to them.
Next time I'm on, I got to send you a Zweigel's hot dog, which is our Rochester, New York local hot dog. I got to figure out a way to get those down to you for the next time I'm on. But other than that, it's been great, man.
Dude, that sounds good. I got hot dogs sent to me from my new boss for my birthday, or no, for Christmas last year. I got what is it, Wally's, the New Jersey. It's like they're supposed to be the best hot dog. They're like the branded the best hot dog in the world. It's like Wally's hot dogs or something, but it's in New Jersey. They were really good. Had a really good snap. That was like the first time I experienced a hot dog snap. But yeah, I know it's getting late. Everybody who hung out is still hanging out. Who left? Thanks, Tommy. Nobody's got my energy. Yes, that's why we freak out about money all the time, guys. Because cocaine ain't cheap. As a joke, that was a joke. Not anymore. That was Blake 1.0, and we're in version 2.2 these days. So that's Coney. God damn it, guys, stop leaving comments. I do love Coney Island dogs, and I've learned how to make Coney Island chili. Or that's what the recipe says, and it's really good. I haven't been to Coney Island to try it out, but I supposedly found a copycat recipe, and that's the beanless chili I've been making, because I don't like beans in my chili, and everybody thinks I'm a mutant because of that. Maybe we'll talk about that.
We're on the same side on that one. I'm just gonna say real quick that the reason Zweigel's wins is because none of these other hot dogs go on garbage plates, and if you don't know what a garbage plate is, you need to culture yourself into the Western New York way of life.
That's like the chili plate thing, right?
It's got mac salad, it's got some sort of potato, usually French fries, and then it's got meat on top of it, hamburger, a Zweigel's hot dog with meat hot sauce, basically chili without beans. And you just you mash it all together, and you enjoy the heart attack that comes later, but you're gonna love it.
It's like the
whole way.
Most Americanized poutine. It sounds like it was like we took the poutine and made it dangerous.
Better. Yes.
Well, Chris, dude, this was even better because I'm gonna remember talking to you this time, because the last time you were on my show, there's some gray moments.
Well, we'll do it again, man.
Dude, we really will. And I want to start, would love some feedback from the audience. I'd really like to start doing this more, having content creators on, not necessarily comic book people, just to talk about, I didn't have a resource like that when I started. It'd be cool to kind of talk about how to deal with burnout, how to deal with audio issues, how to look for gear and all that fun stuff, So I kind of want to start doing this more. Audience, if you are into it, let me know. Got one more comment because you guys won't let me leave. Phil says, back home in Fort Wayne, he's a well-known Coney dog, has been around since the 40s. Oh, see, I need that hot dog. I need that hot dog tradition in my life. All right, folks, it is after 10 o'clock, 11 Eastern. It's time to go. We got stuff to do tomorrow. I got Kickstarter pages to build. Chris has cats to feed and long-term relationships to make sure that are going well, because he's been with this woman for 2 years, not 2 months. And that's what we're taking away from tonight's show, is Blake can't keep track of time for shit. But everybody, this was so fun. I really did like Lauren. I know Lauren's gone, but it was great catching up with her. Chris, great catching up with you. I'm not lying, dude. I'm so happy that you're still going to be online, because I was legit worried that you were bouncing out for a second. So
no, you can't get rid of me that easy.
Hell yeah. All right, everybody. We'll be back next week. We got somebody. I think I got guests next week. If not, we'll figure it out. But love more, hate less, read comics. I love you. See you later.